Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. Tonight, we are talking about the Jack and Lily Sullivan case out of Pictou County, Nova Scotia. Jack and Lily has been missing since May 2nd, 2025, 1 year now. And the mother and the stepfather, Daniel Martell and Malaya Brooks Murray, specifically Daniel, has said a lot of things over the last year. We are going back to see how the story has definitely changed. A lot to talk about on the other side of this.
I've walked through storms in scars and grace, smile through pain with a painted face.
Sing it.
They called me too loud, too much, too strong, but honey, that's the reason I belong. Every scar's a scripture, every tear's a hymn. I found my worth where the light grew dim. They tried to break me, but here's a twist. I turned my pain into a clenched fist. I'm an unbreakable woman, born of fire and pearl. I shine like grace in a reckless world. You can test my faith, you can shake my plan, but I'll rise again. Just watch me I've been whispered about and written off, judged by the gloss, not the cause. But God don't build weak hearts from gold. He made me fierce and he made me bold. I bend, I pray, I roar, I rise with mascara, tears and battle cries. Don't need your crown, I forge my own. From ashes, honey, I build my throne. I'm in a unbreakable storm, dressed in truth and pearls. The fire don't scare me, it lights my world. You can doubt my voice, but you'll hear my name. I'm holy and holy, and I'm done with shame. For everyone called too much, too loud, too real. You're not to anything. You're
Oh,
exactly what
Teresa,
power
I'm
looks
sorry,
like.
baby.
I'm an unbreakable soul. Through the fight and flame, my scars are stories, my strength, my faith. Faith in my heart, fire in my curls, forever divine. Clutch them pearls.
Coming in clutch, better tighten them pearls, dropping cold facts. Got the truth for the world, no smoke, no fluff. Just the real that we trust, hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch.
Here we go.
Coming in clutch, better tighten the pearls, dropping cold facts. Got the truth for the world, no smoke, no fluff. Just the real that we trust, hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch.
21 months. What do you think is going on? Hold on.
Coming in clutch. Coming in clutch, better tighten the pearls, dropping cold facts. Got the truth for the world, no smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch. Coming in clutch.
Welcome and thank you. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. If you have a complaint about something and find your content is being used incorrectly, infringement was not done on purpose and will be rectified to all parties' satisfaction. Well, hello, everyone. Good to see you all. Thank you all so much for joining me. Good to see you, my beautiful pearls. Today is May 25th, 2026. It is currently 4 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Bonjour. How's everyone doing, my beautiful pearls? It's a little early for me to be live, but here we are. We have another live scheduled for later. And I wasn't live here yesterday. I was going to go live and I got busy with something, so I didn't go live after we left Daphne's last night. But I'm here today. I'm here twice today. We're going to be covering Jack and Lily, and then we're going to be covering Nancy Guthrie later tonight. Good to see everyone as y'all are rolling in here. If you would do me a big favor and hit that thumbs up button, greatly appreciate that, or double tap that screen if you're on the mobile device. Also, if you would consider sharing this out, hit that share button, copy that link, drop it in any of your favorite social media, and hype this video. You get 3 hypes a week. If you don't use it, you lose it. And the more you participate, the more, if you hit a thumbs up, you get more points. All of that, everything, any participation, it gives you more points. And that's like a big super algorithm push. More people see. So good to see everyone in here. Oh, nice, Mike. Good to see you, Mike. Enoch, hello. Deb, good to see you, darling. Just Ducky, hello. Clover, bonjour. Miss Shar, hi, darling. Helicopter, good to see you. There's Miss Daphne Daff, good to see you, darling. Mama Chipmunk, hello, darling. Good to see you. Connie, bonjour. Gaspel, thank you so much, my dear. Tony, hello. Liz, good to see you. Hello, my friend. Crazy Buck, bonjour. Oui. Susan, I'm afraid to ask what a cornhole tournament is. It's a game. It's a game. That really made me laugh. Justin, you're here. Well, thank you. Thank you. It's Dad Fred and laid to the side. I got it did. So thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate you. Women's Warrior, good to see you. Andrea, Carrie, Mama Chipmunk, Connie, hello. MZ, good to see you. Pink Tears. Deb, good to see you, hun. I have been waiting patiently. I gotta kudos, your minds and chat members only, friendly and polite. Thank you so much, Don. Appreciate that. We have the best people here. I know everybody says that, but when people come here, they're like, this is such like your mods, and everyone is just so nice and chill. And that's the way we try to keep it over here. So thank you so much. Thank you, love. Appreciate you. All right. So is there anyone in here that knows nothing about this case, Jack and Lily Sullivan? If there is, let me know. I'll tell you a little bit about Jack and Lily's disappearance, because I am constantly going to be on this case. I have been on this case since day one. I was the first creator to ever speak about Jack and Lily through social media that I'm aware of. And they've just captured a lot of our hearts. They really have just captured a lot of our hearts. And we need as many people to see Jack and Lily's face, hear their story as much as possible. They've been I use that term loosely, missing. We don't know where they've been for the past year. Even though I make no secrets about it, I believe the stepfather, actually the mom's boyfriend, and the mother know what happened to Jack and Lily. It is such a rare thing for one child to go missing and not be found, let alone two, let alone what was going on in that house, the rugs, the CPS, the toxicity, the filth, the not, bringing them the right clothes of the year. The school was very concerned as well. And yeah, so a lot of people don't talk about Jack and Lily now. They just talked about it when it was really, really popular. But oh, hold on one second, guys. I'm so sorry. I had to answer. I had to answer that. I apologize. But yeah, there's just not as many people speaking about Jack and Lily, and not as, you know, often. But we have to keep that healthy pressure on the RCMP, and in my opinion, that healthy pressure of reminding Daniel, Malaya, and in my opinion, Janie, that we haven't forgotten about them. You want us to just move on, nothing to see here. Oh, really? Justice for Jack and Lily? Sunny had an amazing guest on her show last night. I just wish you could have heard her from her. LOL. Wow, the poor woman. She was probably prepared what she was going to talk about. But Sunny, I don't know what you mean. What were they talking about last night? Guys, we have a new updated video with all three of the lovelies.
Marvin, you better not shit where you eat, honey. Get out of here. What the fuck?
Oh, hold on. That's not the one.
Marvin, you better not shit where you eat, honey.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, that's the one. That's the one with Malaya ballying around.
Marvin, you better not shit where you eat, honey. Get out of here. What the fuck?
Okay, I'll quit. I'll quit. Listen, I don't take up for either one of those people. I get along with anybody, just about anybody, except people who hurt kids, animals, elderly, someone who is special needs. You fuck with those people, I have nothing for you. Nothing. Nothing for you. And that's the only time I really get real mad, as you guys know. So we're going to continue where we left off yesterday. And Kat, thank you so very much, my dear. Really appreciate that. 21 months, Kat. Wow. Almost 2 years. Hi, Justin. Hi, chat mods and friends. Thank you so much, Kat, for your continued support. I am just humbled whenever I see, you OGs out there that you just support me every single month in this channel, and I appreciate that more than you know, truly. I see you got little Michael Vaughn on there. I love little Michael. God bless him. He was he was he's the only one, Michael Vaughn, Michael Joseph Vaughn, 5 years old, who was abducted by a stranger out of all the cases I've covered through 3 different channels in 5 years, other than the FedEx driver. I think he was in Texas. I just remembered that. Abductions rarely happen. We see them on, you know, in the movies and all of that, but stranger abductions rarely happen. It's just truly, I mean, one is too much in the world. It is just a handful without someone not knowing. And generally, they definitely don't take 2 kids. This stranger abduction, they're not gonna take 2 kids. They're not gonna take 2 kids. They're gonna take the victim that they want. So, here we go. Hi, Tina. Good to see you. True Crime Gal. Bonjour. Autumn, Cynthia. I see you. Corbin. Passion Flower. Good to see you. Also, guys, I don't know if it will be the end of this week or sometimes next week. I might be out for a few days. I'm not sure. It just depends really how I feel. I've got a procedure I'm having done on my throat. And so I've had it done before, and it makes your throat really sore for a few days. So we'll see about that and go from there. So I'll let you guys know the date when I hear it. Okay, let's that's all out of the way. That's all out of the way. You guys ready? Let's we're going to start off exactly. We made it through an hour and 1 minute last time. The video ended up being almost 4 hours for that 1 hour. Thank you, dear. Thank you so much. I have I had a hiatal hernia. You know, you guys know what a hiatal hernia is? I had a hiatal hernia surgery years ago, and it's kind of like a band that goes around here. It loosens up over the years, and the acid still, you know, starting to come up, and it's putting polyps in my throat. That's why I'm always clearing my throat. That's why when you see me mute, that's me clearing my throat, because there's polyps in there, and it feels like you can't breathe sometimes. So, yeah, but that's why. Oh, good to be 40. Your mom had that surgery. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Summer Breeze. We only, you know, something, we're only, if God gives us 100 years, that's a blessing, right? God gives us 100 years, that's a blessing. Most people don't make it to 100. And the rest, I'm going to be, you know, in the dirt. So I try to fit it all in. You have the same issue. I'm sorry. It sucks. Yeah. How old do you think I was, Sam? 80? Eh. My mom is 99. God bless her. That's amazing. That's amazing. That's really good. I think I think maybe our generation, certainly our kids' generation, will have some really good technology. And AI is speeding that up. That's the one thing I really love about AI is it is speeding up and making new drugs that would take 20 years to make. So I thought early 30s slum, 34 at the most. Well, how you doing? Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, let's get it on.
Beginning.
You felt that from the beginning,
Yeah.
but you don't feel that now.
No, I don't feel that at all. I asked for the lie detector exam. I mean, the polygraph exam. I gave them my phone. I told them I, do drug tests because there's a lot of rumors online about a drug party. I know the person that.
I think that they should give Daniel a voice analysis. I think he would fucking fail that. A lot of police now, they're not even using lie detector tests because they have been proven that they are not reliable. The voice testing is much more accurate. It's not 100%, but I believe they should use the voice analysis on him because I think, in my opinion, when Daniel lies, you can hear it in his voice, and he likes to talk. He likes to talk. That's what I believe they should have done. But that's just me. Okay, here we go.
There's rumors, and it was just to take the heat off themselves.
Was there any kind of party?
No.
Just listen to that right there, by the way.
Online about a drug party. I know the person that said there's rumors, and it was just to take the heat off themselves.
Was there any kind of party?
No.
Was there any kind of...
Why is he saying just to take their heat off themselves? Like, Daniel, they don't have heat on them.
a gathering that
No.
someone might have thought was a party?
No.
There were no people at the house?
No. Not the night before.
Okay, you mentioned you offered to take a polygraph test.
Yeah.
Did the RCMP take you up on that?
Yes, it did.
And how did that unfold?
That unfolded in my favor. They obviously know I wasn't lying about anything.
Were you nervous?
Yeah, I was extremely nervous. Especially with the first question they asked you, did you kill Lilly and Jack?
That was the first question they asked you.
Yeah. Yeah.
What other kinds of questions did they ask you?
All the questions pertain to the death of...
If you think they weren't suspicious of you, Daniel, do you think they would be asking you the question, did you unalive Lilly and Jack? Now, think about that for one moment. Do you think, under God's green earth, if they didn't think you was involved, in my opinion, would they be asking you about the murder of Jack and Lilly? Who's that? I don't know who that is. Can you send me her link? Email it to me or text it? I'd appreciate that.
Lilly and Jack. I was accessory to the murder of Lilly and Jack.
Accessory to the murder of Lilly and Jack. That doesn't sound like... Obviously, they don't believe they're alive. Right? Oh my God. I want to see that. I've got to see that. I've got to see that. Thank you, Summer Breeze. Makes me feel good. Thank you, dog. Summer Breeze, rock and roll. I love rock and roll. Send another drop. Send another... What is it? Send another box in the jukebox, baby. I love rock and roll. Come and take some time and dance with me. Sorry. I don't know. It's just a tick, I guess. When I see like something that makes me think of a song, I'm just going to start. Thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate you.
They were all,
So all of the questions assumed that the children are no longer alive.
yeah,
There were no questions at all about, did you take them somewhere? Could
No.
they?
And yet, Daniel and Malaya are the two that says that they believe Jack and Lily are still alive. Yeah, me too. Damn. Me too. They both still say that they believe Jack and Lily are alive. Even though the RCMP said in the press conference after they transitioned their investigation from searching for them to searching to specific areas, they said it was a transition in the case, that they were likely not alive then. Just the other day, they said there is a very slim chance that Jack and Lily are alive. But Daniel and Malaya say they're alive.
Be somewhere?
no.
The police have done a number of polygraph tests. They've done 53 formal interviews. Do you know who these people are?
Yeah,
That's a lot of interviews.
it is a lot of interviews. A lot of them are my family, people that live in the area. And those interviews, typically, my interview was 4 hours. And a lot of the interviews from my family were 1-2 hours. So there's a lot of time taken up, and they ask detailed questions
When did you find out the result of your test?
immediately right after.
What did they say to you?
You did a good job, you passed.
And how did that feel?
Good. That was really when I seen the turning point for it's starting to taper off with investigators.
Do you know if Malaya has taken one?
I don't know if I can say, but I will anyway. Yes, she did take one.
Okay, she took one. Do you know the result?
No, RCMP wouldn't let tell me I asked.
You said you feel like everyone in the world wants to know what happened to Lily and Jack.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think this is getting so much attention?
Well, just mysterious and
It's very interesting on the RCMP documents. It does say, how does it? It does say that, I don't know if it says Daniel passed. It talks about Daniel's polygraph differently, the words that are used. I found that interesting. Let me find that.
nature of everything and how strange everything is. The RCMP, I mean, they have to keep a tight lip on everything, but
Hey, Bogue.
there's a lot more that meets the eye with the case.
What's up? Hello.
It is still a missing persons investigation. It hasn't pivoted to any type of criminal investigation. But
Yes,
the
it
kids
has.
were seen the day before. I know a lot of people didn't know that. I still see a lot of stuff online that the kids could have been missing for days. They were out of school for days, and they were seen in the Glasgow area on camera the day before this appearance in the afternoon. I was near the Highland Square Mall.
Was it with you?
It was with me, Malaya, and Meadow, and Lilly and Jack were there too.
And are the police aware of that?
The police were aware of that since.
Do they have that video?
Yes, they do. Still haven't got to see any of my kids, including Lilly and Jack. And that's been really tough, going from a family of 7, including my other 2 kids that live in Halifax now.
Okay. Let me show you this right here. Right here. Where is it at? Sorry, I got my buttons all mixed up. I had to line them up there. Okay. Let me show you this right here. Very interesting. Actual RCMP documents on May 12th, 2025. So 10 days after Jack and Lily first go missing, Malaya underwent a polygraph examination at the Bible Hill RCMP detachment conducted by Sergeant DeWay. The following is the summary of the polygraph examination report. Sergeant DeWay stated Malaya willingly agreed to undergo a polygraph examination in relation to the investigation in an effort to eliminate her as a suspect in causing her children's disappearance or hold on. Oh my God. I just realized this. Guys. And or is a little words, but they make a big difference. This right here says in an effort to eliminate her as a suspect in causing her children's disappearance and possible murder. Not or possible murder. And possible murder. Not the children's disappearance or possible murder. It's the children's disappearance and possible murder. And possible murder. I just looked at that and I'm like, well, that says and. She was found to have been truthful when answering the following questions, which are redacted. Again, Janie underwent a polygraph at the Bible Hill College, and she couldn't take it because she's a Looney Tune. Something with... She was too hyped up, I guess. Okay, here we go with... Okay, that's Malaya's again. There we go again. Let me find Daniel's. Give me okay, Daniel Martell. Daniel underwent a polygraph. Okay. Now look how Daniel's is written out here. His is right here. On May 12, 2025, Daniel underwent a polygraph examination at the Bible Hill RCMP detachment conducted by Sergeant Rose Bartholomew. The following is a summary of the polygraph report. Sergeant Rose Bartholomew said that the analysis of the polygraph tracings associated to Daniel's polygraph examination procedure indicated that he was truthful. Now, again, I don't believe, I think Daniel's a Looney Tune as well, and I don't believe it. They at all.
Going from a family of 7 in the blink of an eye.
And I also think if the RCMP really believed it, they wouldn't have given him another polygraph. You know what I mean? Miss Tina, thank you so much, my darling. Brenda was on a creator channel who stated that Cody had a poly and RCMP did not tell him his results right away. BSDM. Really? Really? Interesting. Thank you for that, Tina. Appreciate you. Good to see you, my dear. Miss Carol, thank you so much, darling. Appreciate you very, very much. Good to see you, Miss Carol. You received that pearl necklace. Make sure you thank our dear Carol for gifting you that necklace there. Okay, here we go, y'all.
Your family's ripped apart and you're left alone.
I am the grandmother of Lilly and Jack. I am the grandmother on the biological father's side. And this is my favorite picture, their first day of school, because they both look so happy. My son is Pictou Sullivan. He's not in jail. He's never been out west. He does not have a criminal record. And right now he's living with me. He has been for 9 months.
I love you.
Lily is, she was my little dream girl, the first granddaughter. And I love that she had brown hair and she had a space between her teeth, which I had when I was a kid. So yeah, she was our little princess. Jack was such a sober, serious little baby that he didn't like to smile. You could tickle him and he would look at you ever so serious, like he was really studying you.
And so how long were your son and Malia together?
3.5 years, I think it was, yeah. I thought they were the picture-perfect family.
Thank you,
She
Miss
told me that
Dolores.
she wasn't
Love you,
happy and
baby.
She thinks she's going to
Thank
leave.
you so much.
And I told her that we supported whatever she decides, that one good parent is way better than 2 broken ones.
My son has been living here for 11 months now, and he has had nothing to do with the children for 3 years. Him and Malaya were together for 3.5 years. Their relationship went downhill really fast after Jack was born. Malaya told me that she was not happy. She definitely wanted out of the relationship. And we supported her 100%. My son, I don't know if it was the pressures of trying to support a family. I'm not sure what happened, but he started drinking a lot. And in the end, he just didn't care. And she got tired of it and left. She went to court for full custody. Yes. And she went to court for child support payments. And he was paying child support right up until.
Yes, you can ask them to state it a different way. Yes. Yep, you can.
Not 11 months ago now, when he lost his job,
Chris
lost his apartment, and lost his vehicle, and that's why he's home. Does it suck? Yes, it does. I make no excuses for him, but he is my son, and I love him with all my heart.
I looked at...
You know something, Janie? You should be saying that about Daniel. Belinda obviously loves her son, but she doesn't make excuses for him. Right? She doesn't make excuses for him. She says what it is and says, that's my son, I'm going to love him. That's okay. You make every excuse on the planet for Daniel.
The fact that when her and my son separated, my son walked away. He chose to walk away. That she wanted sole custody of the kids.
See?
So she petitioned the courts for sole custody, and when she did that, he said he was done. Malaya, she was a sweetheart. Anytime we wanted to see the kids, she'd come by for a visit. She'd bring them by all the time. It was actually really, really good.
Things started to change when she met Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
That she had told us about meeting him, and that she did believe it was going somewhere. So I was happy for her. Mm-hmm. And I told her, well, as long as he makes her happy, because kids are happy if
Malaya can't be without a man.
Mom's happy.
Yeah.
And we kept in communication that the kids' birthdays and Christmas, that she was staying with her grandmother at that time in Truro.
Yeah.
So we would go there to drop off the kids' birthday gifts or Christmas gifts.
and visit with them.
Yep.
Then we noticed that it started to change a bit. She started to get distance. That the last visit she had them here, that was in the summer before Jack's birthday, so that probably would have been around July or August.
Mm-hmm.
She did make the comment that it bothered Daniel coming to visit us.
Because he's a jealous prick.
That he assumed that she was coming so she could run into Cody. And I thought, well, I mean, they're only young, so we made it clear that, look, if he's got a problem, bring him too.
Everything that Daniel touches, he doesn't make better, that's for sure.
Do you think that the reason why you haven't seen them in the last 2 years is because of that?
I do feel it's because of him. I do. I mean,
absolutely.
She was coming all the time up until she got with him. The mama,
yes,
my grandson,
yes.
called me. We were in town.
Bless her heart.
She asked if I heard the news. She sent me the article that was on Facebook showing the kids missing. I couldn't.
Can you imagine pulling up an article and finding out that your grandkids are missing? Oh my God.
Call Malay yet, so I waited till we got home. And I called, well, I didn't call her, I texted her. And she told me that, yes, that the kids were missing, that they've been missing since this morning. I was in a state of panic, shock.
Hold on. This is text messages from Malaya to Belinda. Belinda says, have you heard anything yet? Were they going to school? Please keep me updated. And Malaya says, no, I was keeping them home today because they were sick with a cold and they got outside the back door and we can't hear that door and they got outside. They like exploring in the woods and playing in the woods under, I can't read the other thing. Under our supervision, she says. I just can't believe this is actually happening right now. I never thought that they would run off on me like that, Malaya says. Malaya says, I'm so distraught. Belinda says, you must be worried, sick. Let me know anything at any time. And Malaya says, I will. And yes, I am. I don't know what to do. And then Belinda said, are your neighbors close at all? She says, no, too close. We live on Gerlach Road. I heard that there are bringing in other teams, Belinda says, to search. So hoping they're home soon. Malaya says, I hope so too. They've been missing since 9:40. They like to wander a lot.
Missing since this morning. I was in a state of panic, shock.
Lies.
But in the back of my mind, I kept saying, well, they'll find them. I mean, I'm assuming that they'd find them. So I told her, well, we'll head out first thing in the morning and help with the search.
When I found out that they were missing, I thought they were lost in the woods. I thought they were lost in the woods right up until we went there Saturday morning. And seeing where Malaya lived, seeing Malaya herself. And I still thought, well, the children must be up in the woods. There was a lot of woods. You could see the kids' toys all over the yard. You knew they well played there. Malaya was pretty, I'm not sure if it's shock, but she was very flat, non-emotional flat. I put it down to shock. That she just didn't know what to do, and she kept saying she didn't know what to do. As for the people around her, I know when we come into the driveway, Janie was sitting on some kind of a bench thing or something in the drive. driveway, and I can't remember who the woman was beside her. There was a policewoman standing there, and the policewoman was talking to them. We couldn't make out what she was saying until we got up closer. And Janie was really crying a lot. And this woman was saying to her, "It's okay, Mom. They're not blaming you. They just
It's okay, Mom. They're not blaming
want to look
you."
in your trailer. They're not blaming you. They just need to make sure."
But Janie kind of fought them on them looking in her trailer, the RCMP. Now, think about that. She's like, "My dog is in there. My dog is in there." Right? Tucker's in there. He's already stressed. There's so many people here. Well, take your dog on a fucking leash and let them work, you buffoon. There's 2 kids missing.
That there's nothing in the trailer. She went on to say that there was nothing in the trailer. She didn't want them around her dog. And the policewoman told her that she was impeding an investigation and she would have to get a search warrant.
I think they should have arrested her right there.
And then I thought, well, we'll just continue on into the trailer. When I walked into the trailer, we went in through the front door.
Now you got to remember, this is after it's all cleaned up. This is after they cleaned up the place right here. The buildings are all painted and everything.
I walked into the trailer. We went in through the front door where it's a little porch there on the front. We went in through that door. And you walk right into the kitchen area. The table's right across from the door. The living room is off to the right. There's a wood stove. It's not quite in the middle of the living room floor, but
right
it juts out in the living room floor a fair bit. Recyclables were everywhere. Piled up bags everywhere. The counters were
So piles of bags, recyclables everywhere. Daniel, why did you just have one bag of trash or whatever out there? I always found that pretty weird. You know, there's 6 people that live on that property and there's only one bag of trash? Hardly. Dolores, thank you so much. Again, Mamacitas, appreciate you very, very much. Thank you, my dear, for gifting. You're super sticky. Appreciate you, love. Thank you so much. So, yeah.
so full. You couldn't pick out any one thing because it was really piled up with a lot of stuff. She was totally, a good way to put it was she looked totally lost. She had Meadow on her hip. She was holding Meadow, and she looked totally lost.
I'm going to lose my shit.
When I got inside the trailer and after I had hugged Malaya, I mean, I
Yeah, can someone send me the link to that? Please. I want the link to that. I don't know who that is. I want to see it, Deborah. And there is a lot of discrepancies that morning. And I'm telling you, I would bet dollars to donuts. Everything that they are saying happened that morning is a lie. Everything. Because according to not one neighbor, but 2 neighbors on each side of them said that they heard Daniel's car. They know what Daniel's car sounds like. You know what your neighbor's car sounds like. You know what your car or your family's car sounds like. From about midnight till about 5:30 in the morning, there was cars going in and out of their property, of where Jack and Lily lived. Okay, someone sent it, I think. Okay, it's about to get good here in just a few minutes.
Now, I didn't notice because I wasn't watching, but my sister stated that she noticed Malaya wasn't crying at all. She didn't have any tears, that she was very non-emotional. Right away, she thanked me for coming. And I noticed that her grandmother, Patty, was there. She was sitting on the couch. And I asked Malaya if she had heard anything yet. Did they find anything yet? And she said no. I said, who are the ones outside? And she told me that was Janie, Daniel's mom, and that was Justin, Daniel's brother. I asked if those were the doors that the children went out, and she said yes, and she opened and closed them to show me how quiet they were, which I did find a little strange. I asked her around what time.
Well, the reason she did that to Belinda is she wanted to convince Belinda, see, look, I'm not lying. Look at this door. I'm going to open and close it really quietly, and so you'll believe me. That's all it was.
She seen them, and she said she never seen them since Thursday night when she put them to bed. I asked her what time she thought they got up, and she said between 8 and 8:30. But she said she didn't see them. She heard them out in the other room playing. She never said what room. She just said she heard them out in the room playing, and she drifted off to sleep. And when she woke up again, she didn't hear nothing, and she realized that the place was just too quiet. So they got up and they searched. She said they searched the house, they searched the yard, and then I think she said Daniel went off in the truck to search. I never met Daniel that day. She told me that he was out searching. He's been searching since they've been gone. The dog barked from the time we entered the property. It just became background noise. It never stopped barking.
But those woods, I started to feel that I can't see them being in the woods. There's trees everywhere. You literally have to climb over trees, climb under bushes. It is really, really thick. We come back out, and I went in to see Malaya again. I assumed she was in shock. She was very, very non-emotional, very just flat, monotone. But Malaya's very soft-spoken anyway. That she's not usually excitable. I thought that's made her a really great mom. She was an excellent mom. She never raised her voice at the kids. That it was always, now Lily, what did mommy say? And I used to think, now if anybody's meant to be a mom, it was her. A part of me still feels that. After seeing the place, seeing the condition of the home, it was like the total opposite of what I knew of Malaya. She was always clean, very clean about herself, about the kids, about her home. This home looked more like a camp. Now, I don't know if it's from all the people that were there, because I didn't show up till the day after, but it was very unkempt. I was pretty surprised. Our last day searching on Monday and seeing the woods and seeing the searchers and everybody everywhere. There's no way those kids are in the woods. I have children. I have grandchildren. And I see what kids are like through the woods. There's no reason for any child to wander deep into the woods. There's just not. I think somebody hurt these kids. I think somebody hurt them. My heart tells me these babies are gone. My heart tells me that. And they deserve so much better than what they got.
She keeps her mind occupied spending time in the garden, surrounded by hummingbirds.
Well, these are everybody's grandchildren. They're not just mine now.
The province of Nova Scotia is offering a reward of...
Okay, I'm at my chair. What's going on? 1 second, guys. Something is wrong with my keyboard. Bear with me 1 second. My God, have mercy. Sorry, guys. I am so sorry for that. It, it went out. It went out, and all that. I had to restart it. Had to restart it all. Okay. Here we go.
Don't upload your video.
Marshall.
Father was always a prime suspect right off the beginning.
1 second. Here we go.
They may have been in contact with someone that you want to know who that person is.
Internet went out.
You may see something on that footage that you didn't know about prior to that. You know, we talked about license plates earlier and seeing them from a different angle. You might see someone that's known elsewhere Maybe it's someone that's known to police. You never know. We really are seeking all investigative avenues in this case.
It's been 2.5 months since the two young children disappeared. The investigation has grown into one of the largest in Nova Scotia RCMP history.
Their efforts include reviewing approximately 5,000 video files that have been obtained through a video canvas of Lansdowne Station and the surrounding areas, assessing more than 600 tips from the public, formally interviewing more than 60 people, including the administration of polygraph tests to some individuals, forensic examination of materials located through ground and air searches in Lansdowne Station, including a pink blanket that officers seized on Lansdowne Road, and
a planted pink ass blanket, I might add. Daniel. Donna, thank you so much for the jewels, my friend. Appreciate you very, very much. Thank you for the 10 jewels. Very kind of you, my dear. Happy Turtle, thank you for the 110 jewels, my love. Thank you so much. And Mountain, thank you for the 200 jewels. Very kind of you, my dear. Appreciate you. And Happy Turtle, thank you for the 30 jewels, my love. And Kimchi, thank you for the 100 jewels, my dear. Appreciate you very much. Shy, thank you for the 10 jewels, my darling. Really, really appreciate that. I didn't understand when Alexa said person carrying a child up the driveway would not leave a footprint, and yet a light boot fall off and landed up the right way would leave a print in the driveway. I'm not sure. Yeah, that doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem right, does it? That's a little weird, don't you think? Okay.
Submitting judicial authorizations
ready to get to
seize and
Daniel's
examine
interviews.
materials and devices that may provide information useful to the investigation. Right now, there are more than 800 tasks associated to this investigation. A tremendous amount of careful, deliberate investigative work is underway by people here at home and in other parts of Canada. Our collective efforts will continue every day until we determine with certainty the circumstances surrounding Lilly and Jack's disappearance.
Well, today marks 11.
Liz, thank you for this 2 sparkles, my friend. Appreciate that very much. Very kind of you. If I missed any mods, please let me know.
11 weeks. Now, their step-grandmother is speaking out for the first time.
She is the mother of Daniel Martell, who's the stepfather.
And she had basically given Martell and his young family the mobile home and was living in the RV parked next to the house. She says she very much thought of Lilly and Jack as her grandchildren, says they...
And just a few minutes ago, Belinda said Daniel wasn't around much the first day. And Daniel says, I wasn't around much the first and second day. He says, well, it's not because you were looking, Daniel. It's because you were freaking the hell out and smoking your crystal in the woods.
They called her Granny and have been part of her family for 2 years.
Now, Janie says that she still feels that the kids are alive out there somewhere, but that they are not in the woods.
No, I don't think they're in the woods. We've searched this place. Look at all the searchers they had out. They had helicopters out. They had drones out. They had searchers. They went over this place with a fine-tooth comb. Every day that they were searching, they were here. You know how many times my trailer got searched 3 times.
Oh my God, that had to have been so traumatic for Tucka, aka Fluffy. That had to be so traumatic. When you popped out there and said, you're not gonna go in my trailer. Fluffy's in there. I despise it. No ma'am. No ham, no turkey.
So the morning of May 2nd.
Okay, I was up at 6 o'clock. Sat in there and had my tea.
Yeah.
And then on Facebook, 7 o'clock.
Nope. Didn't happen,
I get up.
Janie.
Come over here.
I think these people hallucinate. I really do, because they think that 50 drones are filling the night sky. Hey, Cinnamon, good to see you, babe. They think the fucking drones are in the night sky, 50 a night. they say, and 4 of them with red, white, and blue lights are the RCMP. You didn't hear nothing that morning. Maybe Daniel, maybe Malaya, maybe their cars, maybe them screaming at each other, but you did not hear those kids.
And my chickens. My brother, Ron, called me at 8:48 and asked me if I wanted to go to town with him. And I said, no. I said, I'm staying home. I said, I'm going back to bed.
Janie, why haven't you went to town with Ron since? You haven't went to town with Ron since Jack and Lily went missing. What changed? Hey, Dawn.
Okay, I went and I laid down. Next thing you know, my dog started barking and the kids were out in the yard. Now you can see there's 2 swings where the kids play. My bedroom is right there. I heard the kids. After that, I heard nothing.
Guys,
this is where the kids...
Did y'all see? Hold on. This is Fluffy.
I heard...
That's Fluffy, a.k.a. Tucka.
The kids. After that, I heard nothing.
Poor little Tucka. Oh, little Tucka. My little Tucka. My little pap smia shucka. Little Tucka, my pap smia shucka.
This is where the kids' swings are. This is where they always played.
Yeah, they always played on those duct taped rope. Yeah. Yeah, that looks legit. Look at there. You got fucking duct tape underneath here. That looks legit. You sit on that, you're going to fall right off the seat.
And so that's where
I heard them. And I can hear everything in that trailer. If 2 kids get out of a fence, and Jack and Lily are all the time yelling, especially Lily, come on, Jackie, let's go, Jackie. It's all I hear out here. When the kids get out of the fence and come out through here, I would have heard them yelling.
Well, Janie, ask your son and ask Malaya, right? Because that's the only way they could have gotten out. There was only one way, other than if the back door, but I think that one's nailed shut too, that they could have gotten out. Not a chance.
Come on, Jackie, let's go. I didn't hear anything. The next thing I heard is I heard Daniel yelling. He was yelling for Jack and Lily. I didn't get up because...
Well, that's a problem, Janie, because Daniel's most recent interview, he said, that's when Mom got up. She heard me yelling. And he used to say that. Then he quit saying it. Now he's saying it again. So, which is it?
I thought he was yelling for Jack and Lily in the house.
So you didn't pay attention.
So, the next thing you know, came out of the trailer after I heard Daniel.
Okay, when someone says next thing you know, or so on and so on and so on, or yada, 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 they're leaving a big part out. And again, to me, it's just weird that she's there playing on her phone. She nods off a minute, and then she hears Daniel, but she thinks they're just, he's just yelling for him to come inside, or they might have been getting into something. And then, even though she's the one, when Jack and Lily normally get out, she calls Malaya and Daniel. But she didn't this morning, she says. And then she falls asleep again. Then she wakes up a few minutes later out of nowhere, and just comes out on the porch. That's when she confronts Malaya. What made you just get up and go right out to the porch, Janie? Was it just a coincidence? No, it wasn't. Malaya, what's up? The kids are missing. How long? 20 minutes. Okay, let me go get my shoes and coat on. I'll look for them. Not. You would be so confused at that point. You would be so confused at that point because you would be like, how the fuck are they missing? I just heard them outside 10 minutes ago. How are they missing? You wouldn't even be able to process that. That would be the first thing that you would process. They're missing. How are they missing? I just heard them. Hey, Jacqueline, good to see you. And Janie doesn't take her phone with her. Neither does Daniel. Neither does Daniel. Quite interesting, isn't it? Quite interesting.
About, I'd say, 10 minutes after I heard him, I come out of the trailer. I opened up the door, was standing here. Malaya was standing right here with Meadow on her hip. And I come out and I said, what's up? She said, Jack and Lily are missing. I said, how long? She said, about 20 minutes.
About 20 minutes. You'd be like, I just heard them outside. They can't be missing. Oh, thank you, Dawn. Thank you, darling. Appreciate you very much. Thank you so much, Miss Dawn. I appreciate you. Good to see you, Mama. Thank you so much. Very, very much, Dawn. Very kind of you. Thank you, loves. What adult doesn't check with the other adult on the property with missing children before calling 911? The entire morning is a script, in my opinion. Entire morning. There is not even an anchor to a lie, which is generally how people lie. They'll tell half-truths, just not the part that makes them look bad. So they can anchor to that lie. This is all a lie, and that's why it's so up in the air. So up in the air. The only thing I think Daniel is telling a partial truth on is him getting in the car. I don't believe it was the 2017 white Nissan Pathfinder. I believe it was his blue car that he got into and went down Lansdowne Road, which is what the neighbors said, and then went up 289. But I don't believe it's when Daniel said he did. Daniel said he did it that morning. I believe Daniel did it in the early hours after midnight to 5 o'clock in the morning. So there's that. Helicopter Mama, thank you so much, darling. Appreciate you very much. Thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate you. You received that pearl necklace. Make sure you give our Helicopter Mama a big old thank you. Welcome to the Pearl family. What do jewels do for your channel? Jewels are just another way of donating money, essentially. That's it. It's just another way of, but it gives you just like another super sticker or anything like that. Yep. Thank you so much. When Janie looks her dead in the eye while Allie's opens the super loud sliding door always sends me. Yeah. You could tell it's a heavy, heavy door.
I closed the door, got my boots on, came out here, ran up in the woods. Just right up here. The kids have a little fort that they made out of sticks and fir branches, and that's where they go.
She just runs right up in the woods where Daniel just came down from. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. Jeanette, thank you so much, darling. Appreciate you. Welcome to the Parole family. Good to see you, darling. How you been? Thank you for renewing your membership, my love. Good to see you. Thank you so much, loves.
You can see them and hear them. We went for walks in the woods. I had to practically carry Jack through the woods because there was no way that he was walking through all that tree falls and bushes. I did this whole area. There's an old road up back. When I got up to the end, to the top of the hill, I met Daniel.
Oh, Daniel really messed up this part. He really messed up this part last time. He said he was back behind the house and he sees his mom back there. And then he said he comes back down the hill. And that is whenever Janie was talking to Malaya. Couldn't have happened that way. Couldn't have happened that way at all. And he wouldn't answer the question that I asked him.
And I said to him, I said, did you find them? He said, no. He said, you coming with me? I said, no. I said, I'm going to search this area.
She's going to search that big ass area in 10 minutes max, y'all. And then she's going to go back to her camper and grab her phone and stand outside by Malaya, and she's going to get a call from her brother. She couldn't have.
Yeah. Because when she told me the kids were missing, you automatically think they went into the woods. That was my first instinct. So I went up and I did this whole area, this whole wooded area, right up to the...
She says that's her first instinct, but now she says Jack and Lily would never go in the woods by themselves.
Top of to the dirt road, came back down here and came back down the side of the road, came back down here and came back up the same spot. I went back into the house. By the time the cops were here, I don't know exactly what time, I didn't take my phone. The cops were here.
You didn't take your phone. Daniel didn't take his phone, but Daniel takes his phone the second day while he's out searching. He says he didn't take his phone the first day because there's no service out there, so I wouldn't need it anyways. But the next day he's searching and he says he uses Google Maps to help him get out of the woods and records a video for Malaya. That's like a 20-minute video of him searching. So make that make sense. Again, even if I didn't get service 90% of the time there, I would have taken my phone. What if I found them? What if they were hurt? If you found them hurt or you found them at all and you needed to call 911 to let them know where you're at and you found them, or if Malaya found them, or if Janie found them, you're going to find a spot somewhere where you can get service. But Miss Janie didn't take her phone, and neither did Daniel.
There was a bench sitting here, or a sawhorse. It's over there.
An old bench.
Was sitting here.
Janie, you're an old bench, is what you are, girl.
Marvin, you better not shit where you eat, honey. Get out of here. What the fuck?
My dog's name is not Fluffy. My dog's name is Tucker. Tucker. Tucker.
Tucker.
If you don't hear it, maybe you'll know what it spells.
The last time I had a Pap Smith, the doctor needed rubber gloves and an oyster shucker.
I was sitting on it, bawling my eyes out. I was crying because I blame myself for not getting up that morning to see the kids. Because
there is something that triggers her here, and I don't know what it is. Something triggers her when she always says this, and I don't believe her about what she's saying, but she feels like she could have stopped something, in my opinion. Was it the fight, Janie? Was it the fight?
If I would have got up, this wouldn't have never happened.
She's an old bench.
Okay? That's why I was crying.
So this is the patio
This is the patio door.
that Jack and Lily would have.
That Jack and Lily came out of.
Now look at that. She's got a, that's a,
And so tell us why we've heard about the patio door.
Because everybody's saying on Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok that the patio door makes a noise. And why they didn't hear the door.
and Daniel said he, in one of the very first interviews, and Hunter had it here, that he heard the door go open and that the kids might have went outside. Jack and Lily, if they did open the door and they had to open it together, sliding it with their hands, they never closed it back. But this time they did. This time they did.
Door open. The bedroom is back there. Okay?
That far window.
The last window is the bedroom.
And so they would have come out this door.
They would have come out this
that
door.
morning.
Yes.
And then they went and played on the swing set.
Yes.
And that's when you heard them.
That's when I heard them. Right here in this area here. I plan on putting a pool up this year for the kids. You need level ground for a pool.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing's like having a pool outside of your camper where the dog is going to be barking like a mofo. Can you imagine putting that pool in front of Janie's bumper where the dog can get up on the dashboard and just bark constantly? How Janie's going to, manage that. Yeah. She's always talking about Tucka's barking at Lily. He barks at the dogs. He doesn't like the kids. You're not going to have a pool right there, Janie, when the dog's just going to sit there on your dash and bark and bark and bark and bark and bark. The reporter said a dog that barks at everything. Belinda said the dog barked so much that it just became background noise.
That's what I was doing. I was leveling out the ground to set up a pool.
And this is the Thursday.
This is Thursday.
Right.
Friday, all the investigators, search and rescue and everything, right around here was where they found the only footprint.
And again, you're lying. You're lying. RCMP have never, ever, 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 zilch, not one time at all, confirmed a boot print in the yard. Never. That is something your son lied about. He doesn't want to talk about the planted footprints that is a kilometer away, along with the planted pink blanket that's on the corner of a road tucked up several feet in a tree.
This is where the boot.
This is where I was raking that night. That's where the boot print was found, in the mud where I was raking.
I thought there was two boot prints.
There was supposed to be a footprint found way up on the pipeline.
Right.
Malaya sent me the picture of it. That's all I know. There was a footprint found.
Okay.
Yes. And the RCMP said they went to Walmart, got the same style and the same size of boot print. They went to, quote, great lengths, end quote, to confirm if that was Lily's and Jack's boot prints. And it was the same. Daniel said it might have been 50%, might have been 70%, might have been 95%, might have been 98%, but not 100%. You don't want to talk about it because, Daniel, you was the one who wouldn't talk about those boot prints or that blanket for so long. Now you say that it's planted. I'm glad you finally say that. And you said the RCMP said that it was planted. They also took your DNA to compare with that blanket.
But I'm telling you, the footprint was here. The only one that they can confirm that was Lily and Jack's was right here.
So it was child.
She is giving out misinformation after misinformation right here. That is not Janie. How do you not know this? Or are you just lying? They have never, ever confirmed, not even once, that was the kid's boot print. She's like, this is the only one that they can confirm.
Only one that they can confirm that was Lily and Jack's was right here.
That was Lily and Jack's. Well, there was only one boot print. There was only one boot print, which again didn't make sense to begin with when you just raked literally the night before. It had rained and there's one boot print. Dummy.
So it was child size.
Yes, a man, one of the investigators came in here and was measuring it all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not here to lie. The reason why I wanted you guys to come here and do the interview here is to show you exactly where everything took place.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And to show people that this is what happened.
What took place there? What took place there? Because you say that you don't know what happened to Jack and Lily.
All the stuff that people, all the rumors and accusations about us murdering the kids and burying them on the property, this place has been searched thoroughly. The well has been checked, the septic tank, all the barns were searched. My RV was searched 3 times.
And they had to threaten you with a search warrant so they could get in there.
The trailer was searched. This whole place was searched. If they want to come back and search again, they're more than welcome.
Do you feel as if the finger has been pointed towards you and Daniel?
Yes, I do. Because I live on the property. Come on.
Do you think your son had anything to do with the disappearance of Jack and Lily?
No, I don't.
Absolutely.
Believe Daniel had anything to do with the disappearance of Jack and Lily. Our heart don't lie, and my heart is telling me that my kid did not have nothing to do with this, and I had nothing to do with this. You know, if something bad happens, you get like your heart drops. Mine hasn't dropped. Deep down in
A lot of things has dropped, but not your heart.
my heart, I do believe Jack and Lily are alive. It's not because of what people are saying. It's my heart tells me that they are alive.
Darren Geddes is an extended family member of the children's mother.
I believe I'm catching on to who got them, who transported them. Now, the cops are after me to tell them names.
This is Durwood, who is a consistent liar. A consistent liar. Helicopter, thank you so much, darling. Appreciate you very much. Thank you so much, darling. If you received that, make sure you give our helicopter mama a big old thank you. Welcome to the Pearl family. Do appreciate you very, very much.
that I believe, but it's only speculations.
Why would they hide the kids? What would be your explanation of why Malaya would want to hide these kids?
There's two reasons that I can see. There's two reasons possibly why they would hide the kids. Number one is to protect the kids possibly from some abuse that was going on in the household, right? Now, both Malaya and Daniel have accused each other of being abusive to the kids. I believe one parent under-disciplined the kids, and I believe the other parent tried to discipline the kids a little bit.
And
they didn't like that, and that's what some arguing in that was about.
Okay, I can take him. Right.
A trailer at 10:20. Either months are heavily
through bank records, phone data, and GPS locations.
A lot of the documents are heavily redacted. Children reported missing first at 10 a.m. by their mother, Malaya Brooks Murray. Police were at the trailer at 10:27 that day. She told the cops she believed the children had wandered away from home, but the exact time for that is redacted.
Why would that be redacted? You see, that's a very interesting part there. Most times they want you to know, law enforcement wants you to know what time the kids were last seen. But here, it's redacted. That tells me that they don't believe that they were taken at all, which they say that this is a lot more than that. High five. Thank you so much for the groove, my love. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Thank you, my darling. Really, really do appreciate you.
Detector tests were administered to the mother and the stepfather on
Right,
May
get
the
to
12th,
Mr.
and
Daniel,
both passed.
my
An officer
favorite
noted, quote,
time.
at this point
So my blood
in the
pressure can go up.
investigation, Jack and
Okay, possible murder.
Lily's disappearance is not believed to be criminal in nature. More polygraphs were administered in June to the children's biological father, and he passed. But when police attempted the same test on the children's step-grandmother,
this nicotine patch for an hour, and I'd still sell you in for a smoke. Come on back to my place. I want you to look at a urine sample. I think it looks cloudy. It's been so long since someone touched me.
That's what we mean when we mean the step-grandmother. Maggie May, thank you so much, babies. Appreciate you. Thank you for your gift. I appreciate you, my dear. You received that. Make sure you thank our Maggie May. Welcome to the Pearl family. Thank you so much, my lovies.
they found the test ineffective. I'm quoting again. Her physiology was not suitable for a...
Yes, meaning AKA she smoked a bag of rocks before she got there and her nerves were just shot. Her nerves were shot from the Coca-Cola. And thank you so much for the gifts, my dear. Appreciate you very much. Thank you, baby. I can't do it. I can't sit still.
Analysis and an opinion on the polygraph examination was not rendered, end quote.
Investigators wanted to know the exact whereabouts of Martell and the children's mother, Malaya Brooks Murray, in the days leading up to the children's disappearance.
Documents say Lilly and Jack Sullivan were last seen at a local Dollarama with their mother and stepfather.
This is the Dollarama. Also, did you guys hear? I got an email the other day that, and this is just, this is alleged that there was, you know how the time frame was different with the Dollarama? The guy that Daniel's coworker said it was like 11:30 in the court documents. And it was actually like 2:30 or something like that, 1:30 or 2:30. Okay. And then it is Daniel, Meadow, and Malaya out speaking to the coworker. And then they said that they could hear other kids in the car, Chance, which is also Daniel's rug dealer. So I got some, Daphne, I don't know if I told you about this or not. Maybe I did. Well, there is this going around right now that allegedly Daniel and Malaya were so high on whatever, allegedly, when they got home, that the kids were allegedly asleep in the car. And they went in the house and woke up some hours later, and the kids were found in the car not alive. And I mean, that's a possibility, right? You're so high out of your mind. They absolutely, in my opinion, got drugs there at the Dollarama. They were using Cindy's card and all that. They had money that day. I don't know. There's more about Jack. I just don't want to really say right now, but I don't know.
One day before they were reported missing.
Daniel Martell knew he was a likely suspect when his two stepchildren disappeared.
Listen to this
everything
one.
from my phone, doing a polygraph exam, and just ask them to do, here you go, search everything, just do everything you can for the kids, right?
Documents reveal that
For the
as of
kids,
July
right?
16th, investigators did not believe the case was criminal. By that point, 6 polygraph tests had been done, including on both Brooks Murray and Martell.
Now, just remember, nothing is criminal until it's criminal. Nothing is criminal until it's criminal. Okay? Until they say it's criminal, that's when it's criminal. They can be working on a case to prove criminality, but it's still not criminal yet until they make it public. Okay? Oh, Fundaski, thank you so much, baby. Thank you so much for gifting 5 pearl necklaces. That's so generous of you. Love you, darling. If you received one of those pearl necklaces, make sure you thank our dear Fundaski.
Hope people are paying attention to this.
Welcome to Clutch Them Pearls. Yeah, you're in the clue. Shine bright like the stars. This world never knew. We're dancing, laughing all around this world. Hold tight, shine bright. You're part of our pearl.
Thank you so much, my darling. Appreciate you so much, Fundaski. Good to see you, my dear. Much love to you. You're right, Zach is looking for a girlfriend and taking applications. Can you hook him up? Which Zach? I thought Cindy had FaceTime with the kids at 3:38. Was that the same day at the Dollarama? That's a good point, Lake Lady. That's a good point. I think it was.
They were also done on Martell's mother, on Brooks Murray's mother and her partner, and on the children's biological father. Brooks Murray was given a polygraph.
I mean, that's possible. I don't think that happened, though.
And what police describe as an effort to eliminate her as a suspect in causing her children's disappearance and possible murder.
They've done...
Again, if you go back to that, you see her as a suspect in causing her children's disappearance and possible murder, not or murder, and murder. I still think, I do too. Yep. Fight broke out Thursday night. He caught M making plans to leave, overheard her. Yep. I think they said the kids were very loud that night, that they were very hyper. And I think he flipped out. And every single person that I have spoken to that knows Daniel, people that knows him, his exes, all of that, they say, every one of them says that they believe Daniel flipped out.
In causing her children's disappearance and possible murder.
They've done a full background check as much as they could possibly do. And I mean, I'm pretty thankful for them to spend the time and spend the resources to try to figure out everything.
Although redacted, they did talk of polygraph examinations. They did specifically, in some cases, people were proven to not be deceptive. So they believed them. And in other cases, it was redacted. And so there's a little confusion about that. And a redaction doesn't mean someone has been deceptive and is guilty of anything, but it certainly may be cause for more investigation into somebody.
An extensive search on Martell's property and the surrounding 8.5 square kilometers has turned up only a few clues. One was a boot print matching Lily's size 11 feet. Another was a pink blanket hanging from a tree found.
Did you hear that, Janie? Did you hear that right there, Miss Janie? What you just said a minute ago was absolute misinformation. You said they could only confirm the boot print that was right in front of your house. No, ma'am. RCMP never confirmed that boot print. They confirmed the boot print that was 1 kilometer away, close to the blanket that was planted. The one Daniel lied about for about a week.
By family members of the children's mother. A piece of blanket was also seized from a garbage bin at the end of the family's driveway. Martell says it was the same blanket, but it had been ripped apart at the family's driveway.
Does anyone think Jack and Lily, being a preschooler and a kindergartner, do you think they could open that trash? Look how thick and tall it is. Not a chance.
Martell says it was.
And nobody is going to go through someone's trash to plant a blanket with kids. Kids go missing and to plant a blanket out somewhere to throw them off. It's just not going to happen like that unless it's the family.
The same blanket, but it had been ripped apart and thrown out.
Yeah, so just touching on the subject of the blanket, I've kept pretty quiet. I have a son of my own, right? And Lily and Jack are my niece and nephew. But yeah, the subject of the blanket, it was found on a tree branch on Lansdowne Station Road in the evening of day 1. Okay. It was used, or the other part of the blanket was used.
Yeah, look at there. This is the road that Daniel admitted to going down, by the way. This goes straight out behind their house. And here's the road. Planted right here on the corner. I don't know, so everybody could make sure that they fucking see it. Kids aren't going to carry a blanket a kilometer away when they've got their backpacks with them too, Daniel. You're such a sick
Beginning of day 1, It was used, or the other part of the blanket was used for a window or a door at the home, and it was thrown out. And this
I
one
don't
just
believe it.
ended up on a tree, I guess. But yeah.
Interesting. And so you guys, I
Malaya's-
understand
Haley.
one of you took a photograph of the blanket and took it back to Malaya for identification?
Yes, Hayden and I did. Yeah.
Okay. And then she said, yeah, it is. And so you called the police who went and, I guess, collected it?
Yeah. No, the police were already down searching that area, but it was just,
Hayden said they went right back and got the police officers who came to look at it. The K9 unit came and took the dog up the trail.
it was in such an open spot that cops were already down there and it wasn't seen earlier on. So it's just all a little mysterious, you know?
Families brought us to a location there, not far away, that there's a part piece of a blanket, which the mother says she believes it belongs to her daughter. It's just off the road here.
Malaya didn't lie about it. Daniel did.
And this is where the blanket was found. You can clearly see it was visible from the road. It's like 15 feet from the road.
Remember, Daniel said he's never been out there where the blanket was or the shoe prints. He's out there right now.
Maybe not even. Yeah, a little more than 15 feet. And this is the exact branch.
4 is when they
Exact
found
branch.
the pink blanket that was Lily.
Now, just
And this is the exact.
you think a 4 and a 6-year-old's going to put it up there? Higher than Daniel's head? He's got to reach up. Yeah, they definitely wanted that to be found. Definitely wanted that to be found.
branch.
4 is when they found the pink blanket that was Lily's. That was a
I
portion
said
of the
a
blanket.
pink blanket, and I put two and two
I'm not
together.
sure on the exact time on that either. It would have to be after
Manual.
4 because the school bus goes up there around 4 o'clock.
Gotcha. And
Because that
On Friday, May 2nd, 2025, from 7:10 a.m. to 8:10 a.m., bus 919, this time frame will show the Lansdowne area that morning Lily and Jack went missing. It is possible this footage may show Lily and Jack themselves in the area of their house to confirm a concrete timeline of their disappearance. In addition, it may show unknown people or vehicles in the area in the same time frame and provide further investigative avenues for follow-up. On Friday, May 2nd, 2025, from 2 p.m. to 3:20 p.m., bus 267 and 3:40 p.m. to 4:40 p.m., bus 919. This time frame will show the Lansdowne area in the afternoon on the day Lily and Jack went missing. Similarly, as above, it is possible video from the time frame would assist the investigation by identifying unknown people or vehicles in the area and provide further investigative areas to follow up.
that school was up there around 4 o'clock.
gotcha. And
Because that school bus, it goes up and it actually goes up and turns at my Uncle Ron's house, which is about 500 feet past where the blanket was found.
gotcha.
So, and the bus usually goes up there, and the bus usually makes its way up there around, I don't know, 3:55, between 3:55 and like 4 o'clock. Yeah, the buses do have cameras. When they looked at the footage from the outside of the buses, the blanket was not there.
Interesting. And it went both directions, correct? It went
Yeah, they both go both directions and multiple buses.
and it was not seen at 3:55.
Yeah, but he doesn't remember Thursday. Well, he remembers Thursday, but he doesn't remember Thursday from 8 p.m. to midnight. That's when he doesn't remember, which is pretty convenient if you ask me. He remembers all throughout the day, except from when he went inside the home that night. You can't remember the night before. You wake up that morning, the kids are missing. You call 911, you search for them. They come and they ask you, what happened last night? What happened this morning? And you can't remember. Get the fuck out of here.
4 o'clock when the bus passed.
No, they said they did not see it on any camera footage from the buses.
Okay, all right. And the other half, right, was found in the garbage.
I believe so. I wasn't back at the house for that to know that, but that's what I'm hearing. Yeah, that's what Logan said. And yeah, so
which is really peculiar.
The other part of the blanket was seized from Malaya and Daniel's house by Corporal Rice on May 4th, 2025 at 9:09 p.m. It was located inside a trash bag at the end of the driveway. RCMP report. And Daniel said when they found a pink blanket, he said, a pink blanket. So he immediately put 2 and 2 together and said, brother, come here, film me while I go into this trash and get this pink blanket out that I had put in a week prior. Even though Malaya says in the RCMP documents that she's the one that threw it away, Daniel says he's the one that threw it away. My mommy even saw me because I put too much trash in a trash bag and she always gets on to me for that.
Julia, right? Like how, if the blanket was put in the garbage, how did it get out of the garbage and half of it get into a tree, right?
And I mean, quite a ways down the road, like down the paved road from where they lived, up a dirt road, a good at least mile or two. So yeah.
Early in the investigation, when police found a scrap of blanket on a nearby road.
I called it into RCMP when I realized it was a piece of a pink blanket found.
A piece of blanket was also seized from a garbage bin at the end of the family's driveway. Martell says it was the same blanket, but it had been ripped apart and thrown out.
I mean, it's mysterious as it is because the distance from the garbage bin to where the blanket was found is almost 1 kilometer.
Daniel.
I was actually told there was a piece of a pink blanket that was found up the road in a tree. And I said, piece of a pink blanket. And I put 2 and 2 together. I ran out to the garbage bin and I seen that there was a hole ripped in the bag. And clearly there was somebody who went into the garbage or something went on with the garbage for a piece of that to be ripped out. Because usually when you look in the garbage bin, Daniel, and you see a garbage bag, usually it doesn't have a hand-sized hole ripped in the side of it.
A hand-size hole. The only hand-size hole that there is, Daniel, is you. You are a hand-size hole. That's what you are. And I believe when you are in prison, you're going to get a hand-size hole. And I love that for you. I love it for you. I'm here for it.
That's interesting. Now, the pink blanket, when they told you about it, did they show you a picture?
The piece of the blanket? No.
Oh, okay.
No.
So they just told you they found a piece and you went to the garbage bin. And where in the garbage?
They didn't show him a picture of it. They didn't show him a picture of it, but he put 2 and 2 together. Think about that. I said, a piece of a pink blanket. And then I immediately put 2 and 2 together. And DT just asked him, well, was you shown this blanket, Daniel? No. Okay. Got it.
Garbage bin was the bag that had the other part of the blanket. Was it towards the top, in the middle,
there
the
was
bottom?
These were like large industrial sized garbage bags, right?
Okay.
And mom would always yell at me, don't put
You probably stole them from work.
so much garbage in one bag, because I would always make the bags like really heavy, right?
Okay.
And so I had the blanket was in a garbage bag, but there was.
Look at this bass mouth little buffoon here. He's got a smirk on his face while he's speaking about his 2 missing stepchildren.
Another garbage bag that was inside, right? So it was like double bagged.
Interesting.
And you could see I keep wanting to say
a hole that was ripped in the side from a hand that went down inside of it and, you know,
How do you know?
pulled something out. But it looked to be like somebody put their hand in there and ripped it out.
How do you know, you hand-sized hole?
But
Now,
the
well,
bag, the blanket was still at the bottom of the bag, right? It wasn't pulled all the way out. It wasn't anything.
Tell me, Daniel, I challenge you to this experiment. I challenge you. I want to see you with an industrial garbage bag with the pink blanket on the bottom, as you said. I want to see you rip a garbage bag with a hand and then go down into the trash and rip the other blanket. Rip the blanket, because you have to do it with one hand. Because if you reached in with both hands and started ripping it, you're going to tear the bags with your arms. You're going to tear the bags with your arms. You cannot do it, which tells you that this blanket was planted there. The only way you can do that is getting the trash, ripping the blanket first, then putting the bag in there and throwing trash on top of it, and then pretending to open up a hole there. There's no way. It's not possible. That tells you it's planted right there.
Like that. So
was the trash bag in the bottom of the can or on top of like all the other trash?
it was the garbage bag, that one big garbage bag, that was like a 60-pound garbage bag. And it was just, that was the only bag that was in there.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. So there wasn't
that
any
one.
other trash on top.
No, there was nothing else piled on top of it or underneath it.
So if somebody opened the bin, that's the first thing that they would see.
Yeah, they would be able to see the pink blanket in there. Yeah.
Wait a second. You just said it was on the bottom. Hold on. Am I losing my mind?
So much garbage in one bag, because and these were like large industrial sized garbage bags, right?
Okay.
And Mom would always yell at me, you know, don't put so much garbage in one bag, because I would always make the bags like really heavy, right?
Oh, that's hilarious.
And so I had the blanket was in a garbage bag, but there was another garbage bag that was inside, right? So it was like double bagged.
Oh. Oh, well, that makes it even better, Daniel. So you're saying it's a garbage bag in a garbage bag, and that blanket had its own bag? That shows you it's even more planted, in my opinion, because you couldn't have done that. You could not have done that. Try to make a hole with one hand in a garbage bag, right? Because you have to do it with, well, you can open the outside with two hands, but then opening up that other garbage bag, when you reach in there, you can't rip a blanket with one hand. You just can't. You're going to have to reach in there with both hands, and when you pull to tear that blanket, your arms are stuck in the garbage bag, so it's going to rip the garbage bag hole bigger. It's not going to be one hand. You can't do it. Shows you that it's planted.
Interesting.
And you could see I keep wanting to say a hole that was ripped in the side from a hand that went down inside of it and, you know, pulled something out. But it looked to be like somebody put their hand in there and ripped it out. But the blanket was still at the bottom of the bag, right? It wasn't pulled all the way out. It wasn't anything like that.
Hold on. What? The blanket was still at the bottom of the bag. You see what I mean? How he double talks? He just says the blanket was at the bottom of the bag. But now listen to what he says right here.
So
was the trash bag in the bottom of the can or on top of like all the other trash?
it was the garbage bag, that one big garbage bag. That was like a 60-pound garbage bag. And it was just, that was the only bag that was in there.
Oh, okay. So there wasn't
that
any
one.
other trash on top.
No, there was nothing else piled on top of it or underneath it.
He just said 10 seconds ago, it was on the bottom. And then he just said there was nothing on the bottom or the top of it. Yep. And then 10 seconds later, you just said it was on the bottom, Daniel.
So if somebody opened the bin, that's the first thing that they would see.
Yeah, they would be able to see the pink blanket in there. Yeah.
Okay. And so it seems like in the documents that it alludes that they showed you guys a picture and that you guys confirmed it. Was that, if you didn't see a picture, do you know if Malaya did?
I'm not sure if she did or not.
Daniel, you saw a picture of it and you lied to the news for a week about the boot prints that was found and the blanket that was found. The only footprints you would talk about is the ones the RCMP did not confirm, which was the footprint, the single footprint that was in front of your mom's freshly raked camper.
I have no idea.
You do.
What's interesting is that Malaya's sister found this blanket along with two other family members the day the children were reported missing in the afternoon. Then Daniel suggested that the people who found the blanket planted it. So I spoke with Malaya's sister.
Yes. Daniel blamed Malaya's sister for planting it. They came out and searched for their niece and nephew, and mom's boyfriend, the stepdad, Daniel, is blaming that they planted a blanket. How the hell did they know it was in the trash? And more importantly, they didn't get there until hours after Jack and Lily vanished, and there was cops everywhere. Do you think they're just going to be digging in the trash right in front of everybody with one hand and tear out a piece of a pink blanket and then go plant it a kilometer away? And then like, oh, we found it. Well, Daniel, in my opinion, you made it very easy to find. You put it right there on the corner, way up in the tree, so people could see it. Eye level for most people. But listen.
Haley Ferdinand, who found the blanket, and she denies having planted anything.
We most certainly did not. And that's on everything I have, the person I am. I would not do that in the midst of to obstruct a case for missing children.
Haley has no reason to obstruct. Daniel blamed her because she lit Daniel a new ass when she knew he was on rugs with her niece and nephew. Other than Belinda, Haley has been the only real one out here.
Regardless if they're related to me or not, I would never. So
why do you think Daniel is suggesting that you planted it? He told that to me as well.
Probably because I was the one that was hot on his ass the whole time we were there.
There you go.
Okay.
And he didn't like me from the get-go when I got there because he would not speak to any of Malaya's family when we showed up to help the search for Lily.
Oh, Yeah. He would not speak to any of Malaya's family when we showed up to help the search for Jack or Lily. Couldn't look him in the eye either, could you, Daniel? You big coward.
Jack, he'd put his head down, he would ignore us, he would walk away from us, he wouldn't engage in conversation, and I kept at him. I was there for Jack and Lily, and I'm still here for Jack and Lily.
The RCMP announced Friday it's bringing in cadaver dogs.
When you call cadaver dogs in this late, it's for one reason is because they are most effective when they're looking for decomposition. Two, where are they looking for decomposition and why? What information do they have that takes them to that particular position?
We know it's going to take time. We wish it'd be faster, but we have to be patient.
Daniel Martell has been asking RCMP for months to call in cadaver dogs to search for his 2 missing stepchildren. Now the time has come. RCMP say 2 dogs will come to Nova Scotia from British Columbia to conduct the special.
Daniel's been asking for cadaver dogs for months, and when they get there and they say what he doesn't like, which according to Daniel, he says the cadaver dog officers says, Daniel, we think you did something to the kids Thursday night. That's his words. Daniel's own words. We think he said the RCMP cadaver dog officers said, we think you did something to the kids Thursday night, Daniel. He didn't like that.
Search. So what does this say to you? Because, I mean, they are dogs searching for human remains.
Well, I know that it's going to be really hard work now that there's so much vegetation in the woods, but I'm pretty happy that they're going to be able to do it. I even hope that they bring more than 1 dog if they have access to more than 1 dog.
So what are you happy about? What do you hope this will bring?
I would just like to see maybe the social media speculation theories and accusations, maybe.
You hear what he says there? What would you like to see come out of this? Not Jack and Lily found. I would like the theories online to stop. I would like the theories for people to stop saying that I look suspicious, right? Not, I would like Lily and Jack found. Even though he says the RCMP cadaver dog says, Daniel, we think you did something to the kids Thursday night. It's all about himself. He doesn't do this for Jack or Lily. Not a fucking time has he done this for Jack or Lily. Not 1 time. He does this only for his own ass. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less.
They're not going to stop, but slow down. Because at this point, they're getting ridiculous.
So are you thinking that the dogs will go in there and won't?
It's ridiculous because of your own words, the way you
At this point, they're getting ridiculous.
So are you thinking that the dogs will go in there and won't find anything?
I know for 100% they won't find anything. I mean, that's probably why they waited this long to do it.
He knows 100% that they won't find anything. 100%. Well, if you don't know what happened to Jack and Lily, you can't be 100% about anything. You cannot be, you are just as befuddled as the rest of us, Daniel. You cannot 100% know anything, sir.
It's just to keep the public informed, I guess, that they're hard at work.
Do you think it will rule things out?
Yeah, I think we'll rule a lot of things out. We'll rule out that the RCMP are, working hard and there's no human remains on the property.
Is there any piece of you that's preparing for the fact, like, what if they do find something?
No, because I didn't do anything.
Okay. Is there any part of you, what if they do find something? No, because I didn't do anything. Well, no, she didn't say you did anything. Just, are you prepared if they do find Jack and Lily? Just because they find Jack and Lily, Daniel, doesn't mean you did anything, right? Unless it seems like you don't want them found. You got very defensive right there. I wonder why. She just asked, have you kind of prepared yourself if they do find Jack and Lily? Well, no, because I didn't do anything. She didn't say you did anything. She didn't even suggest that you did anything. Just, are you prepared if they walked off? Would you be prepared for that? Because you can't be 100% sure unless you know, Daniel, of course.
I know Malaya didn't do anything. I know my
Preparing for the fact, like, what if they do?
property.
Is there any piece of you that's preparing for the fact, like, what if they do find something?
No, because I didn't do anything. I know Malaya didn't do anything. I know my mother didn't do anything. Those are 3 people on the property.
Even though he says he will visit Malaya in prison. And now his story is, I know I didn't do anything, and I know my mom didn't do anything. Now it's that. Here he says all 3 of them didn't do anything. But again, how can he be sure that his mother didn't do anything? Because remember, he claims he was sleeping in bed, but he also wasn't sleeping in bed. It just depends which story you listen to him with. So, how the story has changed.
RCMP, open up.
A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit.
Oh, Daniel.
I mean, after the polygraph exams, they should have known right there.
No. A polygraph examination is a tool. I think they need to, if they do any test, it needs to be your voice stress analysis. So, no.
We didn't kill any of the kids, or we didn't kill the kids.
We didn't kill any of the kids. We didn't kill the kids.
So why do you think this step is necessary?
Well, it just rules out one and brings the book a little bit closer to being closed. I mean, one chapter at a time.
Dogs that are trained to detect human remains were in the community on the property where the children went missing.
Listen to this.
What did they find?
Well, they did not find or signify any, identify any scent of human remains during their search. So
none.
They searched the property around the family's home. They searched the area where we found the pink blanket, the pipeline area, and the intersecting trails. And they didn't, the dogs didn't indicate on any scent of human remains during those searches.
How many days were the teams on the ground?
I believe it was around 3 days, and they searched roughly 40 kilometers of area during that time.
Did one of the handlers question the children's stepfather, Daniel Martell?
I can't comment on what was said between.
Yes, they did. They certainly did. And that's why he said, I can't comment. I can't comment on that. Yes, they did. And Daniel's going to probably tell you here in just a minute.
Mr. Martell, the dog handler, that's really not something I'm aware of or have knowledge on. And I don't have any comment there. So,
would it be common practice for a dog handler to question people who are involved in investigation?
There may be circumstances. I mean, I'm not sure that there's strict protocols on talking or not talking. I mean, when a dog handler, and maybe not protect this circumstance, but if you show up somewhere and you need to use a dog, you would probably gather some information to help you get that started. So there could be reasons for sure for PDS to be talking to somebody at the scene to get the information they need. But again, there's no solid and fast rules on that. So yeah, there may, they may talk to people.
What happens now?
Now we continue on with our investigative work. Nothing stopped from the second day of this investigation when major crime took carriage and began collating, sorting, and organizing the information.
Is something going on in chat? Is something going on in chat?
And planning the investigation. This is not something that we stop working on. We've got 2 young children, Lilly and Jack, who've gone missing from their home. And it is a Missing Persons Act investigation still at this time. But we need to find answers to that. There's a lot of legitimate public concerns about how 2 children go missing and we can't find them. So we're going to continue until we have answers.
I actually got back from my visit with my daughter, and I come home and
Don't know.
the dogs were already
Listen
on
here.
scene, and they were there for about an
This is one of the most telling interviews Daniel did.
hour before I got there. I didn't know the exact day when the arrival was going to happen. It was even a surprise to me, but at the end of the day, everything's ruled out there, and I hope this is speculation, turns out.
Daniel says everything's ruled out there, but then he's going to say the RCMP cadaver dog officers blame me that I did this to Jack and Lilly. But he's cleared, y'all, right? He says.
Where they're there, and then, I walk up, greet them, and meet them for the very first time. It's like, can I come close to you and the dogs? And he said, oh, yeah. And then, investigators were there, or one investigator, and, had a conversation with him, and they said, look, yeah, we're going to do the property. I said, perfect, let's do every square inch. And that's when it began with, where do you think we should search? And in my mind, these guys are the best. They're supposed to be the best. They should have mapped the terrain, looked at satellite imagery, and found every single speck on that property that needed to be searched. And they should have had, better coordination with reviewing those maps and people involved from the start with search and rescue to determine areas they need to search. But I said, you're welcome to do it anywhere. They did inside the house. They did, everywhere. Vehicles. They did everything they could. And they ran from one side of the house to the other, waiting for the dogs to, bark or pick up a scent, and nothing was located. Same with all the property. There was no indication of anything. They did up the road. They did the blanket site. They did pipeline where the blueprint was found. They exhausted every single area within Lansdowne.
Yeah, the pipeline trail right here where we're standing.
They did. They spent every hour they could searching, not planning or anything like that. They were boots on the ground, just doing whatever they could.
You were mentioning that you had a bit of a tense reaction with one of the dog handlers. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, it was a little bit heartbreaking and saddening to hear what the words that came out of his mouth. And for me, all I was trying to do was ever help. That's all I've been doing is cooperating, and to see that and hear that, it was pretty saddening. He said your Thursday and all the way leading into Friday morning, there's not enough detail. And I said to him that
right here,
Thursday was just an ordinary day until I woke up on Friday morning. And that's when life changed. There was nothing like life changing on Thursday. It was a normal day. So therefore, there was nothing detailed that needed to be remembered that day until Friday morning.
So he was mentioning something along the lines of,
it was an ordinary day, but I can't remember. An ordinary day. Yes, always an ordinary day, but I can't remember. Right. Okay. Ordinary or not, you should be able to remember the night before, unless you were high out of your mind, Daniel, which you probably was, but I still believe you remember.
Thursday night, and your story isn't matching up?
Yeah, well, not just matching, it didn't have enough detail for him personally. And then that's when I asked him, do you know anything on the case? And he said, not really.
Does anyone believe for a second, if that the RCMP would send 2 RCMP cadaver dogs across the country and they wouldn't have knowledge on the case? Of course they have to have knowledge on the case. They're investigating. Their dogs are there. You buffoon. He's so stupid. Now, listen to what he says right here. It's one of the most truthful things Daniel has said.
I've seen you on the news once. And that kind of
right here
alarmed me, or, you know, shocking, because you're having somebody that's trying to get you to admit to something and they don't know any details. So therefore, my Thursday didn't have any details. Your knowledge of the case didn't have any details. So you shouldn't try to force something on me without knowing any of the background.
Did he make any accusations at you?
Yeah, he did. He said that
right here.
Thursday didn't have enough details, and we think you did something to the kids Thursday night.
Boom. Right there. Boom, boom, boom. We think you did something to the kids Thursday night. We think you did something to the kids Thursday night. Just like the neighbors heard Daniel's car, they know what Daniel's car sounds like going in and out of his property Thursday, well, technically Friday morning after midnight. Thursday night going into Friday morning after midnight to about 5:30 in the morning. Not one neighbor, two neighbors. And that tells you right there, in my opinion, that the RCMP does not believe Daniel. And again, that something happened to Jack and Lily on Friday, the early hours of Friday morning. They were removed from the home, was executed and carried out. They were concealed, and they are still concealed to this day. That says everything you need right there. Everything you need to know right there. And if anyone believes Daniel or Malaya after what Daniel just admitted with his two lips, really search your heart, please. Because you are defending a monster. Nobody that is good could ever hurt a child even before they went missing. The black eyes all the time, the bruises all the time, the drugs in the house, the toxic physical environment, the toxic emotional environment. Not enough food in the house because they're on the Mathola, so they don't eat as much. But the kids didn't need to eat. Kids still need to eat. Thank you, Magdalena. Thank you, darling. Appreciate you for that gift. Thank you so much. Appreciate your love. If you received that, make sure you thank our dear Magdalena for gifting that pearl necklace. Really do appreciate you, my dear. Thank you so much. Well, and I was going to mention that too, Belinda believes. Yes. Daniel said the last time he saw Jack and Lily was at midnight or just a little after midnight. And I do believe that is when he last saw them. I do believe that. I don't believe he went and flipped the lights on, but I do believe he was, in my opinion, taking them out at around midnight.
And I asked him, like, Thursday.
Is that you?
Yeah, he did. He said that Thursday didn't have enough details, and we think you did something to the kids Thursday night. And I asked them, like, what are you talking about? Like, I just ran through whole Thursday and Wednesday with you. Like, we just spent the last 20 minutes talking. And there's not enough detail because I thought it was an ordinary day. In the end, like, cadaver dogs were there. They went through, and the story continues.
The story continues. And I can tell you, Daniel was shook. Daniel was shook after this happened. He was mad. He was raging when his girlfriend at the time picked him up. And you want to talk about someone who takes vengeance out on people? In my opinion, that would be Daniel. Again, he's being charged with SA, well, assault. He's being charged with assault, and he's being charged with forceful confinement. The day that his girlfriend picks him up, the car breaks down. And he got mad and he bruised his girlfriend at the time. He takes everything out on women and children. He is the lowest, in my opinion, of humanity. The absolute lowest. Anyone. And shame on that bitch who went there to search for Jack and Lily, but ended up sleeping with Daniel.
The mother of Lilly and Jack Sullivan, who have been missing for over 5 months, released a statement, a written statement. I'm going to read what she had to say for those who didn't see this yet. As a mother, I love my children more than life itself and feel so heartbroken not being able to hold my 2 children, Lily and Jack, kiss them, breathe in their scent, or tuck them into bed, dress them, wake up to their sweet smile.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There was a woman that went there to search for Jack and Lily. She went and hooked up with Daniel that day. While, yes, thank you, Green Eyes. While they are searching for Jack and Lily, Daniel's sleeping with the woman, and the woman's supposed to be looking for Jack and Lily.
Faces. The longing I have for them to come back home to me is a greater feeling that I could never imagine feeling or put into words how I am feeling. There is not one single day, minute, or second that goes by that I am not thinking of them. I walk into a store and all I see is things they love that I want to get for them when they come home. The candy they like, the clothes they wear, the toys they love. All I see is them. I so desperately just want them home safe and sound, back into my arms where I will never let them go. I am truly traumatized not being able to hear the sweet sound of their voices, their laugh when they would sing a Gabby's Dollhouse song that now only makes me cry when I hear it, because all I hear is Lily and Jack singing along. Not being able to breathe in their scent when I embrace them tightly. I don't want these moments to be memories. I want my babies back home, my Lily Mae and Jackie. The pure pain I suffer of just not knowing where they are has impacted my life and Meadows and my family in the most devastating way. Life feels extremely hard to keep going with no answers. It is just pure lostness. Like I can no longer feel at home anymore. No matter how lost I feel, I have not ever given up hope that my children will be returned. I have all of the faith and hope that I will see them again. Please, anyone with information, come forward. Please do not be afraid to use your voice to help bring home Lily and Jack. Even the smallest details are crucial. She goes on to say, I will never stop searching for my children until they are found and brought home safe and sound. Someone somewhere knows something, so please help bring my babies home. To the incredible volunteers, searchers, investigators, and compassionate strangers who have stood beside us, Thank you. You showed me that love, kindness, and
Kimberly.
compassion still shine even in the darkest times. Everything you've done has not gone
Oh,
unnoticed.
1000%.
Thank you with deepest gratitude, Malaya Brooks Murray.
For the first time, we're hearing detailed accounts from neighbors who were awake in the quiet hours before 4-year-old Jack and
Listen to
6-year-old
this.
Lily Sullivan disappeared. According to court documents, neighbor Brad Wong told police he heard a loud vehicle coming and going 3 or 4 times after midnight and into the early hours of the morning. Wong said his house is at an elevated position from the children's home on Gairloch Road in Lansdowne, and he could see vehicle lights over the treetops. He said the vehicle would drive off in the distance, and he could hear it stop and then return. He said it remained in earshot the entire time. Another neighbor, Justin Smith, told RCMP that at 1:30 a.m., he heard a car turn around by the railroad tracks near the area of Gairloch Road and Lansdowne Station Road. He said it made a noise, then the vehicle was quiet for about 2 minutes, then drove off towards Lairg Road. Smith told police he later spoke with Wong, who informed him the vehicle was the children's stepfather, Daniel Martell. The court records also detail Martell's account of the evening. He told police he went to bed fairly early and didn't wake up until light the next morning.
The night they were seen on camera, they were seen on Thursday. They were seen at Dollarama, and then we went to Acropole. You know, we got some food and then brought it home.
You forgot your rug deal at the Dollarama.
When we got home, it was a little bit before 4:00, and I went outside and helped Mom work on the fence. It took me a little while to find all my tools and stuff, but then
Your tools that are on your front porch? I find that interesting how Daniel says, it took me a little while to find my tools. No, it didn't, Daniel. But why do you say that?
you know, after I got my drill and everything else, and I helped Mom work on the fence for quite a few hours until it was just coming on to dark. And then after it was dark, I came back inside. What I remember, the kids were sleeping, but when you're looking back in time, Daniel, it's hard to, kind of remember everything. And
It's hard to remember if the kids were sleeping. It's not hard for you to remember. Hey, Frosty, it's not hard for you to remember something that might make you look good. Seems like it's only hard for you to remember things that might incriminate you.
get a feeling for how the night really was, because it just seemed like a normal night, right? When I came inside, I thought the kids were sleeping. And
You thought the kids were sleeping? You were in the home 4 hours. Okay. Daniel says he goes inside about 8 o'clock. Okay. Listen up, Daniel, even though you don't watch YouTube. You're watching me right now. At 8 p.m., Daniel goes inside. Jack and Lily are put to bed, allegedly, at about 10 p.m. That means Jack and Lily were up and loud, as Malaya said, and they were very hyper for 2 hours while you were inside. But you thought they were asleep. Got it. Malaya says she put the kids down, Jack and Lily down at about 10 o'clock, as the RCMP documents state. And about 11 o'clock, she puts herself and Meadow down. Daniel was going to stay up. He said he was going to clean the house, but when Malaya awoke, the house wasn't cleaned, so she didn't know what he did that night. So from 8 to 10, kids are awake, allegedly. The kids are loud, and you thought they were asleep. No, you didn't. You're not telling us the truth, just like the RCMP said. We think you did something to the kids Thursday night, Daniel. That comes from directly your lips. So at 10 o'clock, she puts the kids down for bed, allegedly, which I don't believe either. But let's say it's the truth. You're going to know when the kids are in the house awake, and you're going to know when the kids are in bed asleep. So out of that 4 hours, they're awake for 2 hours and asleep for 2 hours. You say you go check on them at midnight, and they're in their beds, their blankets up to their necks. You don't see what they're wearing, convenient. And that's the last time they're checked on. But then you were supposed to clean the house that night. But Malaya says you didn't. So she doesn't know what you did. But also Malaya says at about midnight, she woke up and you were in the bathroom smoking meth. You're all lying. That's why I don't support any of you. It's apparent. Thank you, Helicopter. Thank you again, baby. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for gifting. Appreciate that. Thank you, my love. You received that. Make sure you thank our dear Helicopter Mama for gifting that pearl necklace. Thank you so much, love. Daniel probably said, I'm going to get high and clean the house. Probably. I don't believe Daniel ever cleaned, though.
I could have swore they were sleeping, but it says in the documents that she had them up till 9 or 10 at night.
That's right. That's right. She certainly did, Daniel. I could have sworn they were asleep. You know, you just can't remember those ordinary days, though, right? Yeah, he'll talk to them because they're not aggressive with him, and they won't call him, you know, they interview differently than I would.
I don't remember them being up that late, so I'll tell you that. I went to bed actually a lot later than Malaya did, I think. Like Malaya was already asleep when I came into bed.
Hold on, what?
Later, being up that late, so I'll tell you that. I went to bed actually a lot later than Malaya did, I think. Like Malaya was already asleep when I came into bed. I remember flicking on the light for the kids at 12 at night, or a little bit after.
Yeah. Yeah. Malaya went to bed, allegedly, she says, at about 11 o'clock. And you had to be up after midnight. And I don't believe you're going to bed smoking quack that night.
After 12, so a little bit after midnight. And both of the kids were fast asleep under the covers. So, but I never get a chance to see what clothing they were wearing because the blankets were up on them, right?
Did you see the backpack?
Bullshit.
I don't remember the backpack, the strawberry backpack, but that was always in Lily's room, right?
Okay.
Right.
Like that was always in Lily's room.
Right.
Like she never took it out of there, right? That was her backpack
Right.
for. It wasn't a school backpack.
Lily was wearing a pink sweater, pink pajamas with white shapes, and a Barbie top, pink socks, and her backpack was beside her. Jack was wearing black sweatpants, a t-shirt, and a diaper, as he was only partially trained. He had his blanket and his dinosaur, and she shut his door. Interesting. But Daniel said, I've got the text messages where he says, the kids aren't wearing what you think they're wearing, and I'll just leave it at that. Why wouldn't you tell the RCMP what they're actually last seen in? He said investigators don't want that out. Investigators always want the last thing that they were wearing.
lot of people think that.
And make that public.
But she actually had a pink LOL doll, like for school, and that was her. And the backpack she ended up taking was the one that we bought for when she took to her grandmother's, right? Which would be Cindy Murray.
So when she goes on trips, this was the backpack for trips.
Yeah. She didn't take her school.
Daniel is saying she took the one when she went to grandma's house because Daniel wants you to believe that Cindy has the kids, had something to do with taking the kids when she has nothing to do with taking these kids. But it's the only backpack she took when she visited grandma's house.
Backpack. She took her one that she takes on trips.
He's putting that out, a little pin right there to get ahead of it.
Trips or overnight trips or to go to visit, she would use that backpack.
Yeah.
The document said the children's mother, Malaya Brooks Murray, told police she went to bed around 9 p.m. She said Martell stayed up and she doesn't know what he did. And in a phone interview Friday, Martell said no one from the family.
I thought she said she put the... I need to look at that. She said 9 p.m.? I thought it was... She put the kids to bed at 10 p.m. Okay, I might be wrong.
They left the property that night and they did not have any visitors. Brooks Murray has not responded to our request for comment.
Of course not. She doesn't want to incriminate herself.
It's Jack's 5th birthday. It's something that he should be here to celebrate in person. We shouldn't be where we are. So it's very important that we had the time to do this.
40 people gathered outside the Stellarton RCMP detachment to hear poems.
Okay, she changed it. Interesting. I thought I saw that.
Speeches and shed tears for the two young children, all while holding on to hope.
Haley is the only one that really has fucking tried, other than, of course, Belinda. She's the only one that is given a shit about not defending her sister or Daniel, but trying to defend Jack and Lily. Because no lies and no silence should ever come from a mother, a father, a family member, a relative with a missing child or children.
We deserve better. We deserve answers. They need to be brought back home safe.
And I don't trust Cheryl as far as I can throw.
It's been 6 months, too long.
I
think it's
didn't miss
Cheryl.
the first vigil, and I would definitely not miss this one. Definitely not on Jack's birthday. It's an important date for everybody over the last 6 months, and I wouldn't miss this for the world.
Brooks Murray.
Yeah.
Did not attend the vigil. Her family says she quietly marked Jack's birthday with her mother, and gifts from the vigil would be delivered to her. The children's paternal grandmother, Belinda Gray, says she appreciates the outpouring of support.
This is my birthday promise to Jack. Every step is a prayer whispered to the wind. A hope that a search may help our hearts to mend. We hold steadfast the pictures of Lilly and Jack, seeking answers to bringing them back. Our loves like ribbons spread throughout the woods of Lansdowne with searchers about. With every sunrise, I renew my vow to find their sweet faces, not knowing how. No distance or time can sever this hold. The story of our love has yet to unfold. Our spirits are a compass with a needle set true. It points to our grandchildren, and if I may, it points to you. And with
Everything's other than the alternate at this point, so I think everyone's just looking to, what's the alternate, what could happen to the case other than being in the woods.
The alternate. You want the alternate, don't you, Daniel? Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here.
Just trying to keep the public
You psycho.
informed as much as I can. And I don't know if I'm the best voice to be speaking for Lilly and Jack, but you know, I'm still going to do it anyway. And for the
You're
kids,
not speaking
people
for
are
Lilly
still
and Jack,
standing here in the
you're speaking
cold,
for
just you know, for Lilly and Jack, especially Jack and his birthday.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for being here. Our hearts continue to go out to Lilly and Jack's family and their loved ones, as well to all the community. To the community members, including all of you, thank you for being here tonight. I know you care deeply about these children, and so do we. This case has truly affected many,
We love Belinda.
as is demonstrated here this evening. I can assure you that we have not wavered in our commitment to determine what has happened to Lilly and Jack. Our major crime investigators are working every day to determine the circumstances of their disappearance.
Any sign of 5-year-old Jack Sullivan and his 6-year-old sister Lily. These volunteers split into 6 groups and
There's the bridge where the star was
6-year-old
found.
sister Lily. These volunteers split into
Isn't this the bridge where the star was found? That little star?
6 groups and spent a day in the woods of Lansdowne.
This will be our side. We're going to follow it way down. Eventually, we're going to turn the river and we follow it up past Lansdowne Lake.
It's sad, very sad, but it's been 6 months and we need some type of closure to this case.
Teams did find a few items of interest.
And it looks like it has like underwear burnt, like it's been burned.
I'm pretty sure that.
And it's the t-shirt. So it's a unique design. So we took a picture, we sent it to the RCMP. They then spoke to family and they said that it's not something they recognize.
Volunteers also came upon a child's bicycle, a blue blanket, and an old geocaching kit with the children's stepfather's name in it.
That's why it's so important to relook. Like especially it's just having a third party come look is so important.
At times, it got tense. One property owner refused entry where there are signs for no trespassing.
One family member's property, it got tense. That's what happened. One family member's property.
Why are you trying to stop us from finding them?
You have what?
We weren't in the
Two
field.
very dangerous animals.
What
What
animals
animals
are
are they? 2 rams.
A roller coaster of emotions for everyone involved. The RCMP
2 rams, he says. Daniel, when you're in prison, in my opinion, you're going to get 2 rams. You're going to be walking just like Janie is what you're going to be doing. You're going to get 2 rams 5 times a day.
says none of the items found are relevant to the investigation, but with everyone feeling unsettled, the volunteer group now plans to bring in cadaver dogs to do continued targeted searches this week.
My name is Dan Moore.
Your new nickname is going to be Ramit. Ramit.
I'm the criminal operations officer here in the province of Nova Scotia.
Across Morrow's 33 years of experience as a police officer with the RCMP, he says one case has stood out to him, the disappearance of Lilly and Jack Sullivan.
It's extremely rare. I've never seen it across my career.
Yep, 2 kids don't go missing.
But while it's rare, what's the part that isn't rare is the complexity of the case, like why it's taking so long, because these investigations have to be...
Ram, Lizard Man. The RCMP thinks they can get him.
Be done in a methodical approach. Anyone who has children, obviously, from a parental aspect, it deepens that level of concern internally. What happens if it was my child, for instance?
You know that song, Ba 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 Barbara Ann, Ba 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 Barbara Ann, Barbara Ann. I'm going to make one that's ram, 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 a ram, 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 ram. How can I do it? Ram the Dan, ram the Dan. Ram the dam.
Been 1,030 tips received.
Yeah, he's got he was up in the water up to his waist. Ram the dam.
And approximately 86 formal interviews have been completed within the investigation as well. That's sitting down, interviewing a person, not something that's a casual conversation while we bump into somebody along the street. It's a sit down, structured interview.
Yes.
Obtaining what.
That's it, Dav. Ram the dam. You got me rocking and rolling, rocking and a reeling. Ram a dam, ram dam dam. I love you too, Blenda.
The person knows firsthand. There's also been roughly over 8,100 functioning videos that have been actually reviewed by the team that's supervising the investigation. So there's been a lot of work conducted behind the scenes. It's been documented that 7 people have completed polygraph examinations. All 7 were found to be not lying.
I think we're gonna have to dive into some questions so I can, really try to answer that, because there's so much. But what I can say is my blood was taken or drawn, and they got a few drops in my blood for that, check my DNA, because my DNA is obviously going to be on the blanket. But I can't really disclose, and I'm pretty limited on what I know.
What?
Few drops in my blood for that, check my DNA, because my DNA is obviously going to be on the blanket. But
well, he wants to get ahead of that, doesn't he? My DNA is obviously going to be on the blanket. Obviously on the blanket. Of course it is, Daniel. Of course it is. Malaya said she's the one that put it out, though.
I can't really disclose, and I'm pretty limited on what I know about the blanket at this moment.
Right.
Do you know of anyone else who had their sample taken?
No.
Well, that says a lot, doesn't it? The question was, do you know anyone else that sample was taken? Pause. No. You hear that, Janie? You hear that, girl? This is the exact picture of how Janie was looking at me when I was at the pharmacy checking out with nothing but lube and Reese cups. I didn't appreciate it, Janie. I did not appreciate it a bit.
I was never disclosed any of that. At this point, I'm very cooperative, and when
cooperation does not mean you're telling the truth, Daniel.
When they did up the paper for consent on my DNA, they fill in the paper, May 2nd, missing persons case for Jack and Lily, and then they go through it, and then there's the box checked for criminal involvement, no criminal involvement.
Listen to this.
And they checked the box for no criminal involvement.
They were getting his DNA, guys. Now, some people will believe this because they're interested in true crime, but they just take people's word for it. Don't ever take people's word for it. Do your own research, form your own opinion. But he says here, when they were taking my DNA to get analysis on it, they checked no criminal involvement. Daniel, they cannot check no criminal involvement on that when they haven't even got the results back yet. You said they collected it, your DNA, and then they checked no criminal involvement and they sent it off. They can't even make a decision because they haven't got the analysis back yet. Why are they taking only your DNA, Daniel? Why are they taking only your DNA?
And I put my signature on it, and there was my consent. But I've known for, since the start that I'm 100% innocent.
What?
A bullshit?
For no criminal involvement, and I put my signature on it, and there was my consent. But I've known for.
This is the guy that said if he passed a if he failed a polygraph test, they could immediately arrest him for homicide. Nobody would take a polygraph if that was the case, Daniel. They cannot be used in court. It cannot be held against you. Just like if you don't speak, it can't be held against you.
Since the start that I'm 100% innocent. But to see investigators say that to me before, but then also, see it visually with my own eyes.
Sonny asked him recently, is there anything that you have, Daniel, any paperwork or any picture of a document or anything where it says you are 100% innocent, have nothing to do with it? And again, he's like, no, there's not. Well, Daniel, you are innocent unless and until proven guilty. So, yeah.
It was a big thing.
You're innocent until you're innocent at trial. Until there's a
Did you
decision
have
made.
anything to do with the disappearance of Jack and Lily?
No.
Did you kill them?
No.
What do you think happened to them?
At this point, I'm completely just not sure. I mean, I've thrown speculation out in the past and, narratives that I think, or theories that, what I think may have happened. But at this point, I have to just go with what the RCMP say because they have so much information. They have more resources.
They do.
And they're the ones that are fully invested in this case. They have the, intellect.
They're the ones fully invested in this case. But Daniel, you should be fully invested in this case, and so should Malaya. Fully invested. These are your stepkids, right? You say that you did everything for Jack and Lily. You said that when everyone was searching, that they would only come to you in the woods, that they would not go to anybody else.
And professional training to do what they do. It's been 8 months, and I know a lot of people think that, the kids are not alive anymore, but I hold out hope 100%. I'll always hold out hope every day because there's no reason not to.
Do you think it's criminal?
Yes. But it will
He does think it's criminal.
not pivot to a criminal case or a criminal investigation from a missing persons until they have a suspect. And
I do think it's criminal, but it won't pivot to a criminal case until they have a suspect. Which is true. It's not criminal till it's criminal. But I believe in my opinion, I believe that they've been working on a suspect or suspects for months.
they're going to be investigated and then, formally charged.
There have been allegations from Malaya's friends and family that you were abusive to her. Were you?
No.
They said that when she moved in with you.
Now, this is fucking great, by the way. This is great because this reporter asked about Malaya. Were you ever abusive to Malaya? Were you ever abusive to the kids? He answered it. And then right after this interview, he was charged with 1 count of assault, 1 count of SA, and 1 count of forcible confinement. Fast forward to Sonny's interview the other day, and he was like, this one of the reporters, I don't know if it's her or whatever, he's like, they called and said, "Are you arrested, Daniel?" And I hadn't even been arrested yet. So he's very paranoid about that. This didn't age well for Daniel, because right after he said that he's never been abusive to Malaya or Jack and Lily, he's charged for it, which those charges are still pending until I think July 7th, whenever he goes to court.
She cut off all contact with them, and you monitored her phone.
She also monitored mine. We both had the same passwords on her phone, and
You're a controlling asshole.
her friends, she blocked her friends on my phone, and she blocked them on her own phone.
So how would you describe your relationship before the children went missing?
Yes, that is right, Crazy Buck. Absolutely. His children that visit him every other weekend told CPS, by Daniel's own account, he says, my older kids, said that I was mean to Jack and Lily.
I don't really want to talk on that, because I
in which he still is unable to see the kids to this day. He does see Meadow. Yeah, I moved it to 9 o'clock.
I don't really want to talk on too much to do with Malaya.
Thank you, my dear.
It's best that we don't.
Okay. Newly released court documents provide a closer look at the relationship between their mother and
Listen to
stepfather.
this.
Malaya Brooks Murray and her boyfriend Daniel Martell were together for about 3 years before Jack and Lily disappeared on May 2nd. All of them lived in the Lansdowne trailer where the children were last seen. According to the documents, Martell told police they'd been fighting about money. His mother also referenced financial difficulties. The new records disclose
Fighting about money. Yep. Because
that in an RCMP interview, Brooks Murray said Martell would try to block her, hold her down, and once he pushed her. She said he would also take her phone.
Now, that's interesting. When asked if Daniel was physically abusive, Malaya said he would try to block her, hold her down. I wonder if that's forcible confinement. And once pushed her, she said he would also take her phone from her when she tried to call her mom, which would sometimes be physical and hurt. Interesting, isn't it? Very interesting. That's a lot of money. Yeah. Yep.
From her when she tried to call her mom, which would sometimes be.
Which I believe, in my opinion, that happened Thursday night. And I bet you when this goes to trial, we will learn, mark my words, May 25th, 2026, 6:58 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bet you when this goes to trial, we will learn that there was a fight that night and that Daniel took Malaya's phone, allegedly.
Physical and
still, it doesn't give Malaya a pass, in my opinion, at all. Why? Because she went along with the lies even after she got out of Daniel's sight.
Hurt. Martell provides a different account. He told police their relationship was good and they had ups and downs like any other couple. He said they would yell at each other when they were fighting, but there was no physical violence in their relationship.
Janie, you didn't hear that yelling? Okay, Sassy, thank you, baby. You didn't hear that yelling? You didn't hear that yelling? Come on now. No, they wouldn't, Sassy. No, I got your email. No, they wouldn't.
Have you ever tried to block Malaya, hold her down, or push her?
No, all those allegations are false.
Well, Daniel says those allegations are false. I want to reiterate to you what the Crown prosecutor said, that they believe they have more than enough evidence to convict Daniel, that they feel confident about the conviction, that they say that they will prove to the courts that Daniel assaulted someone, that he SA'd someone, and that he forcibly confined someone. They recently postponed it because there was even more evidence that came in.
And as I said, it was just to paint me in a bad light. That's basically why there's.
Not only that, the RCMP spoke to Daniel's ex, and she says that they wanted her to prosecute Daniel for the things that he allegedly did to her.
All of those allegations of abuse came out. I never have physically abused Malaya.
RCMP Staff Sergeant Rob McCammon confirmed the nature of their relationship at the time of the children's disappearance is part of the investigation.
Are any of the children's family
Did you
members
hear that? Hold on.
confirmed the nature?
Never have physically abused Malaya.
Listen.
RCMP Staff Sergeant Rob McCammon confirmed the nature of their relationship at the time of the children's disappearance is part of the investigation. Relationship at the time of the children's disappearance is part of the investigation.
Their relationship. Now, you tell me if this is not fucking criminal. Their relationship at the time of the children's disappearance is part of the investigation. Hello? That sounds like two people right there. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Daniel and Malaya's relationship is part of the children's, or the investigation is part of the children's disappearance is part of the investigation. There you have it. I just heard that. I've listened to that 1,000 times and I just caught it.
Never have physically abused Malaya.
RCMP Staff Sergeant Rob McCammon confirmed the nature of their relationship at the time of the children's disappearance is part of the investigation. Relationship at the time of the children's disappearance is part of the investigation.
The relationship of the parents is part of the investigation of the children's disappearance. Can we have a chicken for that one? There you have it. There you have it, folks. Not Malaya's stepsister, not Malaya's mother, not anyone else. Daniel and Malaya's relationship.
Abuse Malaya.
RCMP Staff Sergeant Rob McCammon confirmed the nature of their relationship at the time of the children's disappearance is part of the investigation.
There you have it. There you have it, folks.
Are any of the children's family members considered suspects in this case?
I wouldn't say anybody's a suspect. Again, we continue to gather information and whatever evidence that we are able to find, and we'll make our decision.
If you can't clear 2 parents in a year, that's all you need to know. If you can't say 2 parents were in bed while 2 children slipped out or even was taken, even though they say there's no evidence of that, that's all you need to know, folks. Daniel's a pussy. He would never come up here. He's the biggest puss ever. He will not speak to anybody that might throw some truth back at him. Now, if I just listen to him and let him just gab and, sympathize with him, he would come up. But Daniel won't speak to anybody with a question, a follow-up question, and then throwing what he has said in the past at him. He won't speak to anybody like that. You know why? You know why? Because he knows. He knows he looks like a buffoon. And he tries to smooze a few people here and there. No. I'm not here for you, Daniel. I'm not here for Malaya. I'm here for Jack and Lily. And I'm here for the fucking truth. And you don't like that.
Just based on that, but I'm not in a position to really comment on suspects or anything like that at this time.
I've been, trying to keep the public up to date as much as possible. My image hasn't changed at all. It was always Daniel's evil, Daniel's a monster, and
you are.
With that painted narrative, the public automatically will just jump to the belief of guilt. When they do have a suspect and they dive into investigating that suspect or group of individuals, then it will pivot to a criminal investigation at that point.
We learned Daniel Martell, the stepfather of Jack and Lily, the missing Sullivan siblings from Pictou County, faces charges not related to the children.
The arrest actually happened at the start of this week. So police arrested 34-year-old Daniel Robert Martell of Lansdowne on Monday, January 26th, around 11:30 in the morning. He is facing 3 charges, serious charges: assault, sexual assault, and forcible confinement. Court documents say the victim was an adult female, and the alleged incidents occurred on Gairloch Road in Lansdowne on December 1st, 2024. That's about 6 months before the children vanished from their home.
They were very sweet.
That's very interesting, right? They've not named the victim, right? We can't name a victim in this, but it happened on Gairloch Road. It happened in December of 2024, which is right about when CPS was there. Hey, Belinda, Daniel couldn't have hurt the children without him knowing. Oh, 1,000%. She said she saw Lily poke her head in once. She was the first person to say it, actually. Yes. And heard them playing in the next room, in my opinion. 1,000%, Miss Belinda. Did you hear what I just played, Miss Belinda? Just a minute ago? About the 2 of them's relationship is part of Jack and Lily's investigation or the disappearance. Mm-hmm. Got that. Mm-hmm. They might as well have said who it was. I mean, I agree, but I guess it's the laws in Canada.
Kids
Lily's laughter, she was so exciting to be around. She was full of life.
Cute.
And Daniel and Malaya, those kids should still be full of life. They should be full of life right now. And you need to say where the hell they are.
Jack, he would love his dinosaurs and he loved his little zoo animals and he would play with those for a long time. And he would come like to the barn and he loved to see the horses. And yeah, they had a lot of fun. They were fun kids.
What was Lily like?
Very girly. She loved to scream. She got excited easily. Loved her dolls. She was just very outgoing and cutest little thing. Jack loves his dinosaurs. Loved to play with his toys. Jack was more quieter. He was on the quieter sides, but he loved to play with his sister. He'd get annoyed with his sister when she took his stuff, but they got along pretty good for the most part. Happy kids, very happy kids. Always excited. They were always clean. They loved their mom and they loved each
They were not always clean. Not the last bit. Nope.
other.
But I know you're Malaya's handler, so there's that.
They fought, but they loved each other.
And I remember they always wanted to be held by Malaya as well.
Both very close with her.
Yes, very close with her.
I love you. I love you.
How is she doing?
She's fine. She's going to the beach.
Not great. I've noticed a significant decrease in her weight since the kids have gone in.
Yeah. Her weight has definitely dropped. She looked bad at the search. She looked bad. She looked, in my opinion, strung out.
She's just trying to take it day by day.
Do you have a favorite memory that you
Yep,
think of?
sure do.
Going to the wildlife park,
1000%.
baking with Lily.
1000%. I think this is the first phase of, even though, again, it's unrelated to Jack and Lily, I believe this is the first phase to get someone locked up, even though it's separately, I want to say, while they continue their investigation. And then I believe charges will be brought later.
Loved to bake because she liked to
For
lick the
Jack and Lily.
frosting off the spoon. Just doing a lot of outdoor stuff with them, taking them places.
We went to the beach a lot. They liked the water. They played with the sand and we would make little sand castles with their baskets, and we had a Easter egg hunt at my place, and they were running around laughing, and I miss them calling me Nene, and we'd color and they play on their little tablets. I miss everything.
Wonder every day where they are.
It's just a nightmare. I can't describe it. It's mental torture to figure out how come it's taking so long. Hope that they're checking every avenue and doing as much as they possibly can.
What's not adding up for you?
The whole case. The different.
Well, it shouldn't add up for anybody. Justin, in the other chat, I asked about asking Anita about the backpack, and she texted Wade, and he said they never saw it before. Lily always had her pink one. Interesting. Well, and this is the thing. Daniel put that backpack, in my opinion, out there to make it look like this is, grandma's backpack that they, when they go to her house, because he was pointing at Cindy. Very interesting. And both Daniel and Malaya said they couldn't believe it wasn't found. Kids, kids only goes so far. And they're 4 and 6. They only go so far. When kids get tired, they stop. They go lay on the ground and they're found, hopefully alive. But when they get exhausted, they go no more. They will be found on the ground. And they're not going to carry that backpack all across Tarnation. They're just not.
Stories
So
we've
frustrating.
heard over the last several months. You know, if you don't know what happened, then there shouldn't be any stories. It should be.
That's right. That's right, Cheryl. And there should be one story, and that's the fucking truth. That's the truth. That's what it should be. It shouldn't be inconsistent with Daniel's either, though, Miss Cheryl, because Malaya's story is not the same as Daniel's story. They're, I would say, cousins, if you will, but one says one's asleep, the other one says they weren't even remotely asleep. Daniel says Malaya was asleep. Malaya says I wasn't asleep. Daniel was asleep. There's just so much.
I don't know. And
also, a mother doesn't need someone to speak for her either.
yeah, that's very frustrating when you have so many different people telling so many different stories. It makes it hard to figure out what really happened.
Daniel Martell appeared in Pictou Provincial Court on Monday on charges of sexual assault, and forcible confinement. The charges against the 34-year-old Martell involve an adult complainant whose identity is protected by a publication ban. At the hearing, Martell stood with his hands clasped at his waist and stared forward as he appeared before the judge. Bill Gorman is the Crown lawyer handling the case. He says Martell will return
Listen
to
to
court
this.
later
Listen.
this month.
Be to confirm the formal retainer by Nova Scotia Legal Aid and to deal with the issue of election and or plea, depending upon the level of court that's elected to.
Martell left the courthouse quickly and did not speak to the media. His next court appearance?
Daniel, do you not look at these signs here? Where's Jack and Lily? Justice for Jack and Lily? You didn't even look at them.
Left the courthouse quickly and did not speak to the media. His next court appearance is set for March 30th. This pink blanket is one of the only pieces of physical evidence in the mysterious disappearance of Jack and Lily Sullivan. And now it's the subject of a second round of police polygraph examinations.
It was in an odd spot, an odd position. It was just drooped over a branch on a thin tree. It was nothing that, it definitely wasn't stuck
I don't remember seeing this.
in there. It was just there.
Since then, family members on all sides have suggested online and in the media that it was planted. Ferdinand was asked about that in a polygraph examination on February 20th.
It was, did you plant the blanket in the tree? Did you place the blanket in the tree? Did you put the blanket in?
I love that they asked Haley this. You know why? You know why? And this is very smart that the RCMP did this, because Daniel blamed Haley. He blamed Haley for planting that blanket. So what the RCMP did is, when, in my opinion, this goes to trial, they will bring up, so Daniel can't use it as a defense, in my opinion, him saying that Haley planted it. They'll say, no, we gave her a polygraph test and she passed. Now, again, you can bring up polygraph test in court. right? You can't make your decision off of that, though. There's a difference.
In the tree, and did you leave the blanket in the tree?
Ferdinand says she answered no to each question and was told at the end that she passed. The force also confirmed the blanket remains at the RCMP National Forensic Lab. The children's mother, Malaya Brooks Murray, confirmed to CBC News that she underwent a second polygraph test and passed. The children's stepfather, Daniel Martell, did not respond to a request for comment. For Ferdinand, her polygraph was simply another box to tick in the pursuit of finding out what happened to Jack and Lilly.
It hurts the longer time goes. It's, we just want answers and we want Lilly and Jack home, but we don't have that. So every day is just another day until we get those answers.
I feel bad for him.
Volunteers are taking to the woods once again, searching for clues.
We're just devastated that there's still no answers after a year. I can't really put it in words how hard this has been on myself and my family.
The lack of answers is what has brought searchers back to Lansdowne, including Brooks Murray. The children's mother has stayed mostly silent over the past year amid harsh criticism from online sleuths. But she decided to partake in this latest public search to show her support and appreciation.
There's Malaya.
This small boot print was discovered near where the boot print cluster was found, and RCMP are reviewing it. Volunteers have vowed to keep searching these woods.
2 children missing is just bizarre. Whether you're looking at wandering, misadventure, abduction, accidental death, if you're looking at those 4 scenarios,
Ask Daniel
it's
Malaya.
uncommon for 2 children to be together in either of those 4 situations.
Cindy Murray, who did not want to appear on camera, says this latest search was tough for her family.
As you walked through those woods, were Jack and Lilly on your mind? Jack and Lilly are always on my mind. Always.
Always on her mind.
Except you were buying a new car, less than a week later, out doing
And
all
on
that
the
shit.
minds of so many.
On that note, we will start from your left to the right. We'll limit each reporter to 1 question, 1 follow-up. If there's time after that, we'll go back around for
The
another
2
round of
siblings.
questions. Thank you.
Pamela, 2 siblings.
Rob, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming today. As you can see by our news release, we don't have new information to put out there. Our investigators continue to actively drive this investigation forward and follow up on every tip and lead that we receive. I will answer a few of your questions.
Long investigation now, still not much information. Do you feel there are people out there that might be able to give you information that can lead you somewhere?
Oh, absolutely. We really would like the public to consider if they do have any information.
That's a very interesting statement, isn't it? Do you believe that there is people out there that have information about Jack and Lily's disappearance? Oh, absolutely. Yet they say that there is no evidence of abduction. They also say that Daniel and Malaya's relationship has to do with the Jack and Lily case.
A few of your questions.
Long investigation now, still not much information. Do you feel there are people out there that might be able to give you information that can lead you somewhere?
Oh, absolutely. We really would like the public to consider if they do have any information.
So if the public, if some stranger didn't take Jack and Lily, there's no evidence of them being taken, and Daniel and Malaya's relationship has to do with the disappearance of Jack and Lily, then it starts right there at the house. And the question to the polygraph, did you MURDER.
Real factual based information, to please contact us at the numbers provided. We seek anything we can find so that we can follow up and find new leads, new avenues to find information.
What sort of level of new information or
agree.
new discovery do you need for this to potentially move from a missing persons case to something else, potentially something criminal or suspicious?
Sure. It's hard to really put a label on what exactly we'd need, as you can imagine. But we just need facts and evidence that support criminality. And once we have that, we make all of our decisions based on the evidence that we collect. Once we have that evidence, then we'll move forward in those areas if that's appropriate.
What can you say to tell the public or convince the public that what you're doing, that you're
Yeah. If he gets put in prison for assault and SA and concealable confinement, I'm adding that there. It will be interesting how it will affect the statements of the family without him being in the background controlling the narratives. That it will, and it'll be interesting to ask Janie, now that, in my opinion, because I agree with the prosecutor, I do believe he will be found guilty. And if he is, the question would be asked to Janie, your son was charged, hypothetically, we're saying, because he's innocent unless until proven guilty, but your son would be convicted, is convicted, not now, but hypothetically, of SA, assault, and concealable confinement. Anybody that can do that can make two children disappear as well, in my opinion.
making progress, if you're making progress at all over these last 6 months or so?
Ever since this began, the RCMP has been actively engaged in pursuing the answers as to what happened with Jack and Lily. This is a critical question for our community when two young children go missing and we have no answers. So we've not let up the steam, and we won't. Our investigators, our parents, as I've said before, we're families, and we want answers as much as everybody else. We haven't stopped and we won't.
Do you believe Jack and Lily are alive or dead?
I think I've already said that before. I think it was my first press debrief.
People are still searching.
Yeah, I know. And well, it hasn't changed. I think the chances that Jack and Lily are alive are very slim. So
I want to thank you for joining us.
Very slim. And we've known that. She told me she heard them that morning in the next room. Yep. Then she says Lily came to her room and she saw Lily.
Your son is the biological father of these two beautiful children. First off, how are you doing this morning?
Keeping busy. I have a lot of preparation for tomorrow's 1 year mark, so it's pretty busy this morning.
What will you be doing on the 1 year mark?
We're having a rallying of asking for more answers, pushing for justice.
The RCMP gave an update yesterday. The line that stood out to me is they have no answers. What goes through your mind when you hear that?
Disbelief that two children living on a property with three adults and nobody knows what happened to them.
How do you hold on to hope, Belinda?
I don't know that I
3 adults and a barking dog that barks at everything.
hang on to hope. I hang on to hope that we'll find them.
You started a campaign earlier this year. You're trying to raise money for additional court costs, for additional searches. Tell us a bit more about what you're planning to do with the funds.
The initial funds were raised because I am going for guardianship, that if the children are found miraculously alive, I would like to be able.
Belinda has a GoFundMe. If someone has that GoFundMe, if one of the mods has that GoFundMe link, and you want to donate, it would be really appreciated. Anything helps. She's getting new counsel. She just mentioned now, and if you want to help, throw a few dollars her way, I'm sure she would greatly appreciate that.
Able to have a voice and to say where they live, to make sure they don't go back to what they were living. If they're not found alive, I would like to know I have a say into what is done afterwards.
Linda, what has been the hardest part of this year?
Not knowing anything.
You see this, Daniel? You see this, you motherfucker? You see this right here? I'm going to turn my camera on. I want you to see me because I know you're watching. This is what heartbroken looks like. When you do your interviews, you're sarcastic, you're smiling, you're giggling. That is not how someone acts, you heartless bastard.
I know it is a really challenging conversation to have, and I appreciate you having it with us here this morning, Belinda. Thank you so much for your time, and we are hoping along with you.
Not having answers at a year later of not being any closer to having answers. And I just don't understand it. I don't understand why we can't.
Frosty, this is Jack and Lily's biological grandmother from their biological dad's side, and she's in chat with us right now. She's one of our mods, Belinda, here. She's who you see here on the screen. She's in chat with us right now. Her name's Belinda, and she has really been the only, and I think Haley too, but Belinda has really been the only one that's been true to Jack and Lily.
Have some information. I get integrity of an investigation and understand that. But we could at least rule some things out.
We want answers. We want justice.
We're here to mark 1 year of not having answers. 1 year of there's still so many questions.
Frustrated, fed up. It's hard to believe it's been a year, and we
Well,
know
then you need to be fed up with Malaya too.
as much as we knew May 2nd, 2025.
I want them to start demanding more answers, demanding more openness from our law enforcement. People have theories. I understand that because I have
it'll all
my
come down at
own.
once.
So I do understand that.
Yes, Annette.
And I
Yes.
understand them wanting more fact-based evidence on if you've seen something or if you heard something. That is what they want. They don't want what people are guessing or assuming. So I do understand that. But I think they should be able to tell us a lot more than what they are without jeopardizing an investigation. I am so grateful and thankful the world has fallen in love with Lily and Jack. And I don't have words to express that gratitude.
We continue to ask anyone who has specific fact-based information that could assist the investigation to come forward.
The public is no further ahead today other than speculation of what we should be helping with.
We're here to get answers. We need answers for Jack and Lily. They are Pictou County's children. They are Nova Scotia's children. Evidently, they're the world's children. We know that investigations take time to complete and to get the details to figure out what happened. But what we are here for today, express the opinion to the RCMP and major crimes and saying that if you need our help and want our help,
thank you, Deb,
with tips, we need to know what you need our help with. It's under my understanding that the grandmother on the mother's side is here too. I'd like to give her equal opportunity in turn if she would like to come up and say a few words. So Cindy, if you're here and you want to come up.
She doesn't come up.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to.
Other grandmother doesn't come up. She's like Malaya, doesn't want to be seen by the camera. To me, that says a lot.
Give the opportunity. We all have to believe. We all have to continue on the same team. So here today, we're going to replace the memorial back here at the Sullivan RCMP office. And I would ask Belinda Gray and Cindy Murray and Cheryl Christine, friend of Malaya's, to come over and put the animals back down at the memorial and let Jack and Lily know that we're all waiting here for them to come home. So now I'd like to call along the paternal grandmother. Ray is going to say a few words.
I'd like to thank all of you guys for coming.
And there we go again. Belinda's the only one. Belinda, Ken, and a little girl. I think that's it that spoke up. Has all kinds of family there. All kinds of family. But they won't get in front of a damn microphone and speak for Jack and Lily. Do you think Belinda is used to speaking in a microphone? Yeah, it's out of your comfort zone. Belinda comes from a generation where they're not all out there and in front of a microphone or anything like that. But she doesn't do it for her. She does it for Jack and Lily. Cindy, why can't you get in front of a damn microphone and show your face?
We are gathered here to mark the 1 year that my grandchildren, Lilly and Jack Sullivan, have disappeared. Lilly was just 6 years old. She is now 7. Jack was just 4 years old. He is now 5.
Me too, Dad.
They were just babies, playing in their make-believe world, playing games, exploring their surroundings. Now they're gone. No answers. Just gone.
Oh, he was
We are
always buddy
here
with Durwood.
because we want answers. We want justice. We need to demand better from our representatives, our institutions, and our law enforcement. We need more transparency and accountability. We as parents, grandparents, family, friends, as a community.
You don't need Art, I'm sorry. You don't need a speech. You don't need a speech. You need to speak from the heart. That's what you need to do. Speak from the heart. She's had ample time, a year, to speak on Jack and Lily. She could have the cameras over at her house in 2 minutes if she would call them. She could have the cameras over at her house in 2 minutes. Hi, I'm Jack and Lily's biological grandmother. I would like to speak on them after a year. It's just, listen, I mean, it's just bizarre. It's just bizarre. It's bizarre to me.
We need to be the change that is needed. We need to stand united for Lilly and Jack because they deserve the truth. They deserve accountability.
Well, this is the thing, Daph. And if she didn't want to be on camera, then just move them and speak. This is the thing. I think Cindy, Malaya says she thinks the kids are still alive. Daniel says she thinks the kids are still alive. I believe Cindy does too. I may be wrong on that. But if you did believe your grandkids are still out there, why wouldn't you want them to see grandma's face?
And they deserve justice.
If there's a half of percentage that they could see your face, why wouldn't you be in front of that camera? You couldn't get me out from a camera. I would be in the camera 24/7.
To those who know what happened, may the truth befall you. We are here because Lily and Jack are a part of my family. They are loved, they are missed. I love them, and I miss them. All of you caring people are here because you have grown to love them also. And for that, I am thankful. You have helped to keep their faces and their story out there. To all the searchers who have taken time out of their lives to scour the woods.
That's right. Belinda knows in her heart, like she says, that they are most likely not alive. Jack and Lily, her grandchildren, I can't even fucking imagine. And she's out here fighting every fucking day for Jack and Lily. Still knowing that they are a very, 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 very slim chance, almost no chance really, that they are alive. What's your excuse, Cindy, Malaya, the rest of you? You don't do it for you. You do it for them.
Trails, you are appreciated more than words can say. You are heroes. We are standing for Lily Mae and Jackie Boy. We are standing for accountability. We are standing for justice, and we are standing for truth.
Lily and Jack are two beautiful children that should be running around right now. They should be playing.
Would you speak up for your children or missing family member? Put a 1 in chat for yes. Put a 2 in chat for no.
Right now.
It'll automatically add it to the poll. Yeah. Well, we made it through. We made it through. Big, big, big special thank you to Hunter F. True Crime. Hunter, you're amazing. You really are, my friend. Putting all that together. Make sure you guys sub up to Hunter S. True Crime. Yep. Yep. That's right, Shannon. That's exactly right. Would you speak up for your children or your family member? Or would you stay silent? 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. I apologize. I know. She's the only one that's out there caring, seems like. I believe it is, Enoch. I believe it is. I really do. I do. All right, guys. I've got another live stream in an hour and 15 minutes from now. We will be talking about the Guthrie case in 1 hour and 15 minutes. So join me here in a little bit. I will be back. Got a lot to talk about in that case. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Also have spoken to Z, and I'll let you know what we talked about. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Justice for little Jack and Lily. They are out there right now as we have this conversation, and someone or someones know exactly where they are, where they were placed, and they're too damn selfish to say where they are because of their own selfish reasons. But God knows. God knows. And he will be the judge on that. And I believe we will also get judgment here on earth too with that. So justice for Jack and Lily. Thank you guys so much for being here. I do appreciate you. We got to keep Jack and Lily out there. We have to keep them out there. It's been over a year. Thank you, Miss Belinda. I'm sorry, Miss Belinda. I know I get probably some of my comments make you, about Malaya's side of the family and stuff. I apologize, but it pisses me off. So I know I don't want to make you uncomfortable, but all right, guys. Much love, everyone. God bless you. Take good care. See you guys later.